What's happening? I think we're live. We're about to do rebroadcast Flow State till I'm ready to go. Flow State's still live. Apologies, I clicked the button before I was quite ready. I'm off this weekend. Just getting logged in here. Logged in, rather.
Definitely bugs, basically.
Yeah, they're bugs. I tried cricket before, but they're so ungodly expensive. I can't. They're not gonna make us eat bugs because they're too expensive. Just get some ground beef or something. You can't. Crickets are so damn.
You said crickets is expensive?
Oh,
you got like a bag of crickets?
So what you got to do? You got to cook them yourself
know about this,
and
by the way.
fried them, or was it baked them? Probably both of those. But they're just so goddamn expensive.
This a wild man.
What did he say?
Oh, man.
He's a wild man.
Hey, what's up, Big Drink T? Good
He
to see
is a
you.
wild man.
It's my day off, so I figured we could play Flow State.
Yeah, but I don't think crickets are good for
here
you.
until I
Because they're
get
trying
going.
to, like the New World Order is
Probably
trying
only
to
got a
promote
couple of
cricket
hours
as
in
like
me
the
today.
the new protein source while they're trying to get rid of everything else. I mean, I'd much rather people eat like seafood or meat rather than crickets, but the trend is going towards crickets.
It's not because it's too. I mean, they at like whole food range prices just trying to get them.
That's the point.
Because the protein's not cheap. It's not that you can look at. You can look at
Lindsay
crickets. They use it for lizards.
Hey, Lindsay.
They ain't cheap. They're just trying to starve us out, if anything. Even though the Bible says it's okay to eat those.
No.
It does.
No, they have.
I mean, go
Go ahead. Sorry.
Who gives a fuck what the Bible says? That's gross.
Yeah, I'm not eating based on the
John
Bible.
Thomas
That's
does.
crazy.
You eat crickets.
Yeah, but also they have kind of like chemicals
just
in it
gave
that
John
is like
Thomas a heart attack.
I'm not
poison.
eating based on.
You know, like these bugs, like these crickets and shit. They have.
Hell
I forget
yeah,
the
Big
exact
Drink
name
T.
of the
Officially
chemical
homeless,
that's
man.
in them,
Congratulations.
but they're poisonous.
know
And they
you've been looking
accumulate
forward to that.
slowly in the human body. So
I don't know if you
eat a
ever
lot
come
of
on
crickets
panel.
over time,
I
you're gonna
can't remember.
Accumulate this
But you're welcome to
poison
come
that's gonna
have a
fuck with your
chat about it
brain.
here in a few minutes if you'd like.
But I don't eat a lot of them because
Sort of like
they can't
fluoride.
afford them. They're too goddamn expensive.
I'm just
I
still
can't
getting
afford
set
a lot
up.
of them.
I'm not sure why I clicked the button before
You
I was
can't
ready.
afford
but
crickets?
Crickets relatively expensive.
I thought you
by
said
the
they
way.
were cheaper.
If you buy them
they're
prepared
not
and dried
cheaper, they're
and all
more
that. Hey, what's up,
expensive.
Gen 2 gone?
I thought
Then
that
what?
was
Why eat them? Why eat them at
Nutrition.
all? Do they taste good to you?
But I eat them for the same reason you visit 10 countries. I like to try stuff.
Is he
Oh,
in the
okay.
United States? He in the United States? Oh.
Yeah.
Yes,
Lindsay, I
Pittsburgh.
turned your mic up too.
testing. I don't have a loud voice.
Yeah,
Pass.
I can hear.
I know.
Yeah,
I turned
hey.
you up to 200. She's got a quiet voice, and the rest of
What's
us
up, Heidi? We're just watching this until I get ready to
Expensive.
go. I'm still setting
I don't
up.
know where
Have
you
the
at.
slide
They are.
No, they're
I'll
not.
for you.
Compared to what?
I
Dirt?
agree.
Compared to ground pork or ground
Yeah,
beef.
I'm wondering
they're
if everybody
goddamn
is
expensive.
drunk on this
Fact-
panel.
In fact, if you buy weight,
You know, not that there's
I think
anything
a
wrong with
rabbi's
that
cheaper.
necessarily.
No
fuck
way.
you for a
There's
cricket?
no way. There's no
Oh,
way.
apologies.
That's
I just
true.
realized I was listening on
in
the
the United
delay.
Yes,
States,
man.
yes, we can't get crickets
plugged
cheap
into my
because
phone.
We don't farm them to that big of a scale.
Well, over here they do.
So-
'Cause they
Pound for pound, cricket is going to be more expensive. Like a pound of ribeye
Well, if you
versus
buy
a pound
it,
of
yeah.
cricket. Cricket
If
is
I
going
Yeah,
to
if
be more
you buy
expensive.
it.
I think
No way.
No, maybe not. I
It's
think
probably
like
more
chicken
nutrient
price, I know
dense.
it's all big, just like it's gonna be about.
Bro, a pound of
Do you like
crickets would be a
crickets?
ton of
Are you guys
freaking
down with
crickets.
the cricket or what, dude?
I'm okay with it, but it's not. I didn't buy any this year.
A pound of
Do you know like how much energy
This
to
man-
like
Dead,
how much
dried crickets
resources it
would
requires
be
to raise
a lot
like
of volume,
a
I'm
cow
assuming.
versus like a bunch of crickets? You don't need hardly anything at all to grow
What's up,
crickets.
man?
That's why they're promoting it. It's the new food because
No, I'm not
because
on
it's,
anything.
like,
yeah,
less
homie, I'm
resources.
Who's
not
asking about
the
that,
cricket
Heidi?
life, though.
I
Me
know,
neither.
I know,
Hang on, let me turn this
Nobody
down
is.
a
I'm
little
not
bit.
promoting it.
Crickets
I'm
would
not
be about the same
promoting
price
it
as
that
chicken.
way.
Who's asking if I'm drunk or on
the
drugs?
raise, and it just
Yeah,
it look-
but you know why chicken is cheaper than beef?
No, I'm not on
It's because
anything.
the
That's
amount of
probably why
resources that you need to raise a
so
chicken
much
per
of the
pound
public is on
is less
pharmaceuticals,
than that of
Adderall,
a pig or a cow.
SSRIs,
doesn't mean I can buy
cannabis.
Like if you
Now I'm not
were,
sober. I would
eating
happily
dogs
consume
or,
some
let's say,
cannabis, but
cats
strategically
or
I've been keeping
lions,
myself ready
as an
for
example, as part of
a
your
drug
diet,
test
they would
if I
cost
need to go
10
back to
times
the truck
more,
driving.
probably than a cow.
This is,
You know what? I
this is
No,
tried
I haven't
to,
had any alcohol in
there was a
well over a year
website-
now.
At least there was. Last time I looked, it wasn't there anymore. But there's a farm in
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Nebraska or some shit. where
Nobody-
you
nobody
could buy
listens.
lion steaks.
Right.
And
Not nobody.
crazy.
You folks do.
Super
I shouldn't say
expensive.
nobody.
I don't remember how they did.
Anyway,
those
I'll be
legal
back
laws.
shortly.
It was like a wildlife refuge or something.
Hell yeah, big
and,
drink tea.
It was.
I love that.
I don't know how they made it legal, but maybe they didn't, and that's why it's no longer there. But
I wouldn't want to eat it.
I was
Regardless.
trying to get a buddy to
This is why I
split
put
one with
the-
me because it was like 70
other people
bucks
in the
a
little
steak
window.
or something, but he didn't want to do
Keep
it.
my
and I
comments
never tried
separate
lion
from
yet.
theirs.
But predatory animals usually have a harsh, gamey taste, though.
Now, if they weren't
Any
all
kind of
in
animal
a
that
certain
eat
type of
a lot
mode,
of
I would go onto their
meat
stream and
And
talk to
flesh,
them about
Right.
me not being
they tend to
intoxicated
taste
ever.
funky
But
going down your throat. They
Yeah, because the
stink.
muscle
I
is
found when
different.
they're in a certain state,
You
and
know,
I'm in
their
a
muscle
different
type
state, and I've been to
is-
sleep, and they've been up all night. It's just not a good mix. I don't know. I don't know what the latest is. I'm taking the weekend off, by the way, but I'll be back in just a moment.
How far? Me?
Lindsay.
Why are you asking me? I'm
No,
not
no,
MGTOW.
I'm
Oh,
I'm
not,
Lindsay,
not
sorry.
educated enough on your whole platform to really know all that I know are the rumors that or the general consensus that is that they don't like women. Now correct me if I'm wrong.
He does.
Sounds about
He
right.
does like women. He watches a lot of porno and jerks off.
Yeah, I like women.
I didn't
too,
mean
the
that.
same way. I also
That's
meet them
why
sometimes.
I need so
I'm
much
like,
help around here.
You tell me in a nutshell and encapsulate what you think it is, what it represents.
If you had to have a baby from every MGTOW on panel to save us, would that be an option?
I think you're the only MGTOW panel.
Yeah, you're the only one.
What was the question? I missed the question.
Okay, so how far would Lindsay go to save MGTOW from extinction?
Why would she want that?
Right, when I asked you to define in concrete terms exactly what you stand for so that I'm not, saying that you're something that you're not. So can you, in 2 sentences or so, concretely define what your creed is?
The family values that was absent on the West Coast, you know what I mean, that drove Musso all the way to the other side.
Moose, were you fleeing debauchery and sin?
Hmm.
Of course he was. I'll speak for him.
He's a refugee from the great morality wars of the West. But why would Lindsay save MGTOW? She's not a man and she isn't going her own way as a man.
I don't think it was a serious question because he was
I'm just
about
confused.
defining it.
Y'all are confusing the fuck out of me.
He couldn't answer the question, so I'm not going to answer his.
Yeah, I can keep track. Pretty much, I think this is like a non sequitur question because there's no chain to it, and I don't even know. I don't understand why the question existed. I didn't see Lindsay in chat say she wanted to do anything with MGTOW, and it's confirmed by the fact that she doesn't know what it is.
Nope. I just
So
told
I
you
think-
what the
So I think
general
it's bad
consensus-
flirting. If you ask me, it's just bad flirting. Please
No,
just
no,
do
no.
better, John.
This is
Yeah,
serious
John.
stuff.
If you want to court a lady, you might as well just be direct with her. It's a lot more effective, I'll tell you.
It is.
Well, what? Moose, I'm talking the real stuff here, directly.
So,
real-
let me give you a better example. I didn't see Lindsay at all, but your picture looks hot. I don't know if it's you. That's a better way to flirt.
I don't either, but Hank, let me just make this clear for you. John Thomas is a Brokeback Mountain story. Okay.
I understand that, but I swing.
So, are you flirting with John Thomas then, Hank?
Of course.
The Book of Moses doesn't say anything about that.
Well,
He's flirting with both Lindsay and John Thomas at the same time. That's what
Hey,
I'm
you
hearing.
dirty dog!
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
flow
just
state,
wedge
of
yourself
course.
in the middle of these
I
two
always wear
people.
flow states.
You flirt with me?
I call you Chad.
I didn't know that was flirting.
That's
I thought it was
flirting.
just an
That's
observation of
flirting.
the fact.
Well, who doesn't like Chad?
If you were actually flirting, I gotta apologize because then that would come off as being really bitchy answer. But I think you
That's
didn't
why
really
he's
want
going
that.
his own way, because you're bitchy.
No. I got a thick skin.
No, you don't.
No, I'm basically just saying I'm sorry. If I guess I mistook you, and then I came up with a kind of a snotty answer. So I'm sorry about that.
That was the theme earlier before we got off on a tangent.
Now, was this the question about? And here's why it confused me, because I didn't know if it was a reference to the thing you said earlier about how, like, if women needed to be protected, they would need a dude to protect them, or if not, maybe I'm just. I don't know.
Somebody has
We're
a
all
radio
just-
going on in the background. Just FYI.
Huh?
Somebody has a radio going in the background. I hear some background noise, like with somebody
Like
else.
a rhinestone cowboy.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Keep talking, and I'm gonna just kind of, as opportunity allows, like try testing out people's mics to see.
Well, hold on a minute, Flo. Do you really think I'm a bitch?
No.
You kind of
Did you really think I thought you were a bitch?
We don't know you well enough.
You never know, so you have to ask.
It's not Vic. Do you really think
No.
that if I did, I would tell you?
Let's see. You're basically asking me if you're honest. Well, if I only have to go on what you've said to me so far, I think you would be too nice to tell me. And you
I
said
disagree.
you said that you analyze things, but that you keep it to yourself. So I know that just tells me that I would deduce that you're careful of people's feelings.
Oh no, he's Mr. Straight Shooter. He'll just tell you.
Okay, well, I said I wasn't.
I think Flo would be honest. Just he would be more kind about it than other people. Depending on how much he liked you or didn't like you. But
See,
I would trust it. But I would trust that he would tell you the truth about how he thinks.
Yeah.
Do you guys not hear that, or is it just me?
Yeah, no, I do. I just don't know where it's coming from. Hold on. Say something. Notch.
Hello?
Okay, it's gone. Now, hold on. Whoops. Sorry, you're back.
I feel like
Now
it's
say
Scott
something.
2B watching TV in the background, haunting us.
Oh,
It's Vic, dude.
Vic.
Vicky, we can
Yeah,
hear.
yeah.
I think I just muted you. I think that you got a radio or some shit in the background.
It's like watching TV and like eating stuff and like.
It's the
Notch is not having that shit tonight.
countdown.
I mean, people saw me eat a whole bag of popcorn on screen, and then they heard like a couple cracks.
All right, so let's go back to this MGTOW conversation because I want to know what Lindsay thinks about the MGTOW. What are your feelings about it?
I
Yeah,
mean,
you said there were two.
I just want to put a presumption out there. I think that she thinks that MGTOW is pathetic.
She don't need you to defend her, Moose. Remember, women defend themselves.
I wasn't defending her. I was calling you pathetic.
Oh, no. I think Daddy's here, he thinks.
Why would what? Okay.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
Daddy now, protecting his little baby.
I'm not really, anything special. I try to put up good pictures because they would be flattering, but you don't really have to like act any different because I'm here. I'm just like an average looking person. And you can say
That's
whatever
exactly
you want.
the sort of shit not average people say.
I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to be honest with you. That's all.
I mean, it doesn't matter because I can't even figure out if
You
he's
don't get to
flirting or
judge
not.
how you look. We get to judge how you look, Lindsay.
Wait, I thought the question was about the toe.
It was. I'm sorry, I'm distracted, but I do tend to speak my mind. Now I'm going to shut up and let this NG Chill guy.
Moose, are you 6'5" too? Or is Tarek just talking?
No, like 6.5 out of 10.
Oh, shit. You never know. Like, if anybody knows Eric from Talking with Famous People, I had no idea how tall he's like 6'4". I had no idea he was so tall until like he pulled up in front of my house and just folded out of like whatever little hatchback he was driving.
Oh, your neighbors?
No, he lives in LA. But this was years ago. He went on a kind of a cross country because he had the channel's called Talking with Famous People, and before this was ever a channel, I would jump on his sometimes, and that's how I met him. But he did a road trip across the country one time and just like met various people that he'd met through his channel, and he stopped at my house for a weekend, and yeah, it's just weird. You know, meeting people in person, you can kind of get their energy is different, and you know, I had no idea that he was super tall.
Yeah, that's why you have a wrench on this channel. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've known him, and that's who Katie stayed with for about a month when she was on the run. She stayed in LA for about a month before going to New Mexico.
I know this channel was an MBTI channel once.
What, his?
No, yours.
Yes, it was. I've never been very. I don't commit to things well, so I never have scheduled times. I never have specific topics. I try to do exactly what I want when I want to, as much as possible.
That makes sense to me. I should do that more.
I recommend it. Can't believe we still got 46 people watching at 6 in the fucking morning. What's wrong with you people?
This is a special day.
Crickets. Back to crickets.
Yes.
About the crickets.
Well, you get on like. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, I'll go really quickly. In Africa, different states in Africa, I'm not actually exactly sure which one, but it's one of the really poor ones, I guess, in the north. I think they use crickets and other insects to make flour because flour is expensive, and so that just goes to show that it's going to be inexpensive.
Yeah, they make cricket flour, like to make bread and stuff.
I see they've gotten on to some discussions of male-female dating dynamics.
Sorry,
and, my opinion is that shit's broken.
Go ahead.
And
not
irrevocably broken and can't be unbroken. That's just my opinion, or can't be put back together.
Yeah, that's it. Chitin. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's the way I view it.
It's chitin, right? It's pronounced chitin. No.
You know whether I'm right or not?
It's pronounced chitin.
Okay.
Who knows?
Because thank you.
But I did an exhaustive study of the
that,
topic, by the way.
I guess it's called chitin.
I did a podcast, a popular podcast back in 2011 about dating and relationships from a male perspective. I had extensive writings, I mean extensive writings in the area.
Good idea for us to be
some of which still exists on a message board called SoSuave.net.
Shit out the same thing. Like, I don't think it's good for your body to have that.
It's fiber.
No,
all right, I'm going to mute this. Hang on.
It's not.
Hold on.
No, but
this is Flow State. He's live.
Like Central America and South America, the way they processed corn actually allowed you to be able to digest.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, they're talking diet. I'm not that interested in that anyway. How is everybody? Yeah, I'm taking the weekend off. We'll probably do around 3 hours today and about 3 hours tomorrow. I'm assuming, just guessing for tomorrow. Don't know. We'll see how that goes. It's been interesting. I think 3 days in a row of 12 hours, I believe, or near 12 hours. If I don't get started early enough, like yesterday, eventually there's just no audience because almost everybody ends up at Paul's, or folks are just not used to me being live that late. And this is something I've figured out is, training. I know it sounds bad, but training the audience to expect, me to be live at a certain time. There's something to that, right? The consistency. So that's why even when I'm taking the weekend off, I still want to go live. Yeah, see, it looks like DeFreak is, especially I would say this DeFreak if you trying to date a lady or have a girlfriend. First, I would say, what is the specific goal? Is it just to go out on dates, right? Is it to have companionship? I mean, I never had a problem admitting that it was sexual. I mean, that's the main reason for wanting a woman, from my perspective. Now, maybe I'm just one of those people who's willing to say it. Yeah, I'm trying to get some, right? But not in a way that I'm using the other person, and in a way in which I was, wanting to have a relationship, a committed relationship. I mastered dating before cell phones became the norm, right? Before I was expected to text. I got out right before that happened. In fact, me and my second wife, when we started dating, there was a little bit of texting, not much. And I never would press numbers to make letters. That was insane to me. So I waited until I could get a phone with a physical keyboard. It's like I type 80 words a minute. Why the hell would I press numbers to make letters? It just made no sense to me. But see, I'm able to just not do things when all of society's doing them. I can just look at it like Facebook or texting with numbers, and I can just go, no, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. Most folks aren't able to do that for whatever reason. It's always been something about me, in particular. Right. Well, and see, dating in this instance, Heidi, would be getting to know somebody by having a series of interactions, right? And so back then, many males were so fucking stupid, they needed somebody like me to just tell them, here's what you do, right? So first we start with what is the goal. So if the goal is to have a girlfriend or a wife, then logically I'm able to break down to them, okay, what's that process going to look like? How many women, and again, this is all pre-apps, this is all pre-dating sites, this is all pre-texting. This is the olden days of talking to a strange lady in public, right? Getting a conversation going, getting her phone number, and then leaving, right? And then doing that with about, I would say, 10 women, getting like 10 numbers, right? Then say to yourself, okay, what do I like to do for fun? Because it has nothing to do with her, because we don't even know her, right? We don't know her. We've had a 5-minute interaction with 10 different ladies who've given us their phone numbers, right? I used to teach this, by the way. People used to pay me money to teach this to them. It's pretty fucking basic and obvious, but this is how dumb men are, women. And I know you don't need me to tell you that, but men are just fucking morons. So number one is no dinner. Dinner's not an activity. Dinner's not. When you ask a man, okay, what's the date? What's the date gonna be? Dinner, or maybe a movie, or even worse, dinner and a movie. It's like, no, this is not a fun activity. Dinner and a movie's not fun. Dinner and a movie's when y'all have been together for a long ass time. It's not a first date. So no dinner, no movies. That's out. So it's like, okay, now what? Now what? Well, the fact is, most guys don't know themselves well enough to know what they actually like to do for fun. Okay. I like to go bowling. I like to play mini golf. I enjoy both of those activities. I've done them by myself. Right. Now I am a fucking weirdo hermit who likes to do shit by himself. I've gone bowling alone. Right. I think that was the name of I believe that was the name of what's that guy's name? The Roger and Me documentarian. I forget. He's Michael Moore. Yeah. I think Bowling Alone, or no, Bowling for Columbine. Well, I'm way wrong. I'm way off now. Forget that. Scratch the Michael Moore. Forget I ever said it. Men are very dumb, Christine. We're fucking morons. Just complete blithering fucking idiots. Yeah, it's appalling, right? And this is half the reason why I always had a girlfriend or a wife, is just I'm a little less of a moron than the rest. I mean, just slightly less moronic than the rest of them, right? But in high school or whatever, when just going to a restaurant without my parents was a big fucking deal. When I was 17, that was okay for a date. A movie was okay for a date because, we're just now starting to do these things by ourselves. I'm 48. If for some insane reason I wanted to go on a date, it's not going to be a dinner and it's not going to be a movie. I like walking around. I like walking around an area of downtown in my city. Right. That's the kind of thing I'll just go do for fun. I'll just go walk around and look at shit. Okay, that was our first date with me and my second wife. Was we went downtown, and the town we were in had an awesome downtown, Hot Springs, Arkansas, a really cool historic downtown, and we fucking walked around. And then at one point we went in a bar and had a beer. Right? I didn't pay, by the way. She paid for hers. I paid for mine. I'm not. Why am I paying for her? She's an adult. Makes no sense. Why would she expect me to pay for her? See, this is the things men need to be taught. It's like, but why? If me and you, if I just said, hey man, highly suspect, meet me downtown, I got something to talk to you about, and we're just walking around, and then we're like, hey man, let's go have a beer. Do you think he's going to expect me to pay for his beer? But then the lady will try to say, well, he's the one that invited me. No, wait a minute. No, society is structured in such a way, or it used to be. Remember, this is all old-timey, outdated stuff by now. See, I'm talking about history at this point. This is all outdated. But it's like, no, that's not how that works, right? Society is structured in such a way that I go and meet the woman. I get the woman's phone number. I call the woman on the phone. I make the invitation of, hey, this is what I'm doing. Saturday at whatever time, I'm doing such and such. You're invited if you'd like to come along. And then shut the fuck up and see what she says. And if she says anything other than an enthusiastic yes, you go, okay, perhaps another time. You hang up and you call the next woman on the list, because you don't call any of them until you got 10 phone numbers. See? So that we don't care what the first one, we just going to call the first one that we remember out of the 10 that we think we like the most, which, by the way, is going to be the one we're the most physically attracted to. That's how men are. Right? It's got nothing to do with your makeup either, ladies. It's physicality. I don't know what to tell you. It's just what it is. But then, some of the chemistry will play in. But then how horny or not horny we were when we met that particular lady probably plays in. I mean, this is how men are. This is just what it is. So then anything other than yeah, absolutely. If she hesitates, if she tries to negotiate the date into something else, if she's like, I don't know, if she's like, well, let me check my schedule, you're just like, all right, then perhaps another time. You get off the fucking phone. You immediately call the next one on the list. So that's the point of the 10 numbers is if we keep getting no's. Now, the thing is, I never got anywhere near the bottom. Now, if a guy gets to number 10 and nobody has agreed to go on a date, now he's got to reassess what the fuck is wrong with me. Because clearly there's something wrong with him. Is he picking the wrong type of ladies? Whatever it may be, right? Now, out of the 10, by the way, some of those are fake numbers. Some of them, they just gave you a fake number, right? That happens sometimes. It's like, this number is out of service or whatever. Or she didn't pay her fucking bill in the intervening 2 weeks. It's all sorts of things can happen, right? All sorts of things can happen. But a man needs this explained to him. This is how stupid men are. So when we look at the Ozzie and Harriet, the 50s, and the malt shop, and all of this, and the dating was way more worked into society. It was way more formalized, right? It was just normal for a girl to date a series of boys because she wasn't banging them, presumably, right? So if she went to the fucking malt shop this weekend with Bobby, and the next weekend it's Johnny, then it's just normal, right? We're not getting in. It's not my girlfriend because we're on one date, right? Makes no fucking sense. Yeah. Well, and that's what we would want is just know I'm not interested, right? But ladies don't do that. Ladies are typically, now this is the olden days. What it's like now, I have no fucking idea. I have no idea what it's like now. This is all pre-texting, for fuck's sakes. It's definitely pre-apps. Tinder was not a thing yet back then. So, I mean, this is not complicated. And then it's like, okay, bowling, mini golf, fucking walk around downtown. Like, this is not complicated. Because remember, we're trying to find somebody that likes us and we like them. And presumably that's going to be a person who enjoys the same type of activities that I do, right? If she's like, I fucking hate mini golf, well, we're probably not a match, right? I mean, this is not rocket science, folks. She's like, well, I don't really want to go walk around. It's like, well, I like to walk around. So, all of the ladies I've dated or been married to, there was long walks involved at various times, right? They enjoyed it and I enjoyed it. So if the lady's like, I don't like to walk around, say, all right, well, it's probably not by the way, guys, the way this is structured is we want to find out as early in the process, is she not for us? So we're actually trying to find a reason to get rid of them, if that makes sense. not out of meanness, but so we don't invest more of our time and attention in them. And we're not investing any money. Remember, we're spending no money. I spent $0 on my second wife for the first 6 months I knew her. We're spending no money, okay? Because why would we? She's a mature adult with her own money. I'm a mature adult with my own money. Why am I buying her shit, right? Doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, my first wife bought me expensive cologne for my 21st birthday, and we had just started seeing each other. Interesting how that works. Then she, here's how she got me, as she gave me a sponge bath. Yeah, interesting. Interesting how it works, fellas, when you're the prize. See, she wanted a boyfriend. I wanted to have sex with her, and we got together, and we each got what the other one wanted. And I don't mean sex one time. I wanted to repeatedly have sex with her over a period of many years, actually. See, and again, I'm know what I want out of the thing. Okay. Now, part of that also is appearing normal in society, like it's normal, as a 22-year-old man or whatever, to have a girlfriend or a wife. See, that's just normal. So part of this was me passing for fucking normal too, and things have changed, right? The things have certainly changed since then, obviously. Yep. Well, and for men, it's all about avoiding what we call one-itis, where we meet one woman who shows the tiniest little bit of interest in us, and because we are nervous to go out and meet women, then we just focus everything on that one woman, and now we're desperate. Now we're seeking her approval. Now we're fucking bothering the shit out of her, calling her all the time. Now we're jealous because we don't know what she's doing on her off time when she's not around us. If I've got 10 numbers and I'm dating, in those initial stages, if I'm seeing several different women, I'm probably not even thinking about what one individual lady's doing on her when she's not around me. Who cares? Meanwhile, she might be in an active dating phase. Other guys might be. Those are going to be the guys who are going to be taking her to dinner and the movies, by the way, and spending money on her. So you're already different because you're not going to be doing that. But again, this is all old shit. None of this probably applies anymore. Like literally none of this probably applies. I don't agree to Freak. He says, believe me when I tell you, if you're lucky enough to have a long-term relationship right now, it's a direct blessing from God. Well, most people's relationships are completely fucking miserable. I don't know if you know this, DeFreak. The absolute majority of everybody's romantic relationships are in a state of complete and fucking shambles, just total shambles. So I don't necessarily agree with that. Hey, good to see you, Kimba. She enjoyed the thumbnail. I don't know if y'all know this about me, but here's how I get a lot of the thumbnails is I watch movies on my computer, but I don't listen to them. I just look at the visuals, and then when I see something that looks cool, I screenshot it. So I've got hundreds of screenshots on my computer here, actually on 2 different computers. That's part of taking the weekend off. I'm going to be working. I'm just not going to be on a stream. I'm going to be working in the background, getting things ready for, the rest of the month. Yeah, most people in relationships, DeFreak, it's a complete fucking misery. Yeah, absolutely, 100%, 100%. See, I think you're probably seeing what you choose to see because you're not in a relationship. So when you see people together, you're just assuming that's great and wonderful and they love each other. No, they don't. They're miserable and they fucking hate each other most of the time. That's just how that goes. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's horrible, dude. Horrible. And see, that's how my first relationship, I was just awesome. I mean, I'm not trying to be, but I was, I was in my early 20s. Fucking, I was as arrogant and cocky, and you just can't even imagine. Just testosterone coming out of my ears, fucking just insane. It's just a crazy person, shot out of a cannon, crazy person. But I was just her type, right? Like if she described the exact boy she wanted, it would have been me, like 100% across the board. Looks, the way I talk, just everything, right? And I was into Asian chicks for some reason at the time. So she was, dark-skinned Asian Vietnamese. So I was very physically attracted to her. Which is what I cared about at the time. Hopefully she doesn't give me too many problems. You know what I'm saying? Because the high school girlfriend, I didn't really know what I was doing yet to that extent, and just sort of ended up with her because she had basically she looked like a Playboy model from the fucking neck down. And again, I know me, right? I know me. That's what I was into when I was 16. Right? A specific body type that she happened to have. And I was never ashamed. And we got along though. Like we had similar interests. She was athletic, she was fun, right? She was intelligent. She liked artsy stuff. I like art. She liked. She went to college for interior design. I like all kinds of things artistic. Yeah, so we got along really well, but we're more like good friends. Except I was strongly attracted to her, and she wanted a boyfriend. That's how that goes. Yeah. So of course that didn't work in the long run. And then we're growing and changing, and I was very, very, very immature for my age, pretty much all the way through, probably until pretty deep into my 40s. Actually, probably till right around 40, I think is when I started finally getting my shit together with respect to my maturity. Very, very immature for my age the whole way through. Is Charles Vaz in here? Is that Charles? Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, Charles. Yeah. And see, and I love that he said this, because now that I'm 48, I can actually do this. See, I had just my drive was so fucking high, man, in the past. I didn't have control of myself. He said that's why you should choose your relationships carefully and get time to bond and not think with your penis. Yeah, exactly. That's all I was thinking with. And since I didn't know how to actually meet women, I just lived my life, and women met me for the most part. So I just chose from whichever of the crazy broads who were crazy enough to let it be known they liked them some Benton. I just chose from the one I found most attractive. I mean, that's how that went. Until I taught myself, okay, this is actually a structured process. I learned what I needed to learn, and I practiced that with my second wife. I actually I dated a bunch of different women simultaneously, but we weren't boyfriend, girlfriend. I was just taking them on dates, and she's the one who didn't fall by the fucking wayside, right? But it doesn't take too many, it doesn't take too long to tell which one out of these, and again, out of 10 numbers, how many actually went on dates with me? Maybe four or five. I don't even remember. It doesn't take too long. It doesn't take too many dates to figure out, okay, not this one, and then maybe these two, and then, out of those two, one of them's going to fall by the fucking wayside, right? It's just how it goes. It's just kind of like last woman standing, right? It worked really well, though. We were together 10 years, and, I don't even want to get into, we don't even need to get into the particulars of how or why that ended. But the way I look at it is they all end. This idea of together forever is a fucking fantasy. That was the past generations. Almost nobody's getting married today, and they're going to stay together 60 years. It almost doesn't exist anymore. Well, that's another thing. See, is if I'm not, and that's another problem is, see, because there were certain aspects of my life that were just completely, I had not grown in certain areas, like maturity. Well, surprise, surprise, I ended up with immature ladies. Because, like you do kind of end up with the person on your level, right? Especially if I'm only mostly factoring in what I'm the most attracted to at the time physically. Yeah. Well, and this is what I'm saying to Freak, is it's almost entirely broken from what I've seen, because what I see is most males they're no longer the boss of the relationship. And I've approached every relationship. Well, the first two, it was just a given. Like, it wasn't even a question. Of course I'm in charge. I'm the man. Because both of those women came from the same culture, right? They're both from Arkansas, even though the one was born in Vietnam. She grew up in Arkansas, very Americanized. So with those two, it was just a given that I'm in charge because I'm the man. This wasn't even a question. By the time I ended up with the third one, the second wife, society was starting to change, and we were starting to see more of the relationships were being dominated and ran by the woman. So it was actually kind of unusual in our peer group that, she just was she was very submissive. And I was really expressing the dominant aspects of my personality at the time. I was typically the dominant force, in all of my social groups and all this, again, now we're back to the testosterone, because I met her right about age 30, I think. I was lifting weights. I was I was really into my looks. I was really into my fucking arrogance. I was like going full fucking ego, right? And that does attract a certain specific type, right? Well, see, I'll say this, Jen, and this is where I get a little pedantic. She says, I think if you're not happy alone, you don't have any right to inflict yourself on someone else. I agree with that. and I won't pick on your word choice there because happy is not a state that somebody can permanently inhabit. But I know that's not what you meant, so I'm not gonna pick on you there. Well, that's not. I disagree to freak. See, you're not men anymore. Men are destroyed. See, I don't agree with this. She says, but in no way should I ever expect to be respected by any women in my life, including family. Women just do not respect men at all anymore, period. That's not true. Men are destroyed. Y'all ain't men anymore. I could still be with my second wife and she would still respect me. But I'm actually a man, believe it or not. But see, now we don't even know what is a man because now we're all on social media and there's a specific image of what a man is, right? A man is we're in bed and the glass breaks downstairs at 2 a.m. and she calls 911 and I'm happy and looking forward to going down there and confronting whoever had the goddamn audacity to break into my house, whether I have a weapon or not. And I'm looking forward to getting downstairs so I can make eye contact with this bozo. See, that's a man, right? We don't have that anymore. Now the male would be hiding behind the woman while she handles the situation. See, y'all ain't men no more. So you're just wrong. You're just absolutely wrong there. You're assuming you're a man and you're not a man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just happened to grow up in a place where they still turned out men, right? I'm born in a time warp in Southeast Arkansas. They still produced men for whatever reason. Men are destroyed. Y'all ain't men. You're males. Sorry. So, yeah, women don't respect males. You're grown adult babies. A woman can't respect a grown adult baby. By the way, nothing more useless than a weak male. Just good for nothing. Give me a woman, by the way. Give me a woman over a weak male any day. And I'll tell you right now, if we took 100 males and 100 women just at random out in society, adults, and we had to have some kind of a competition, give me the 100 women. If I'm running the team and I'm like the shot caller and the commander, I'll take the 100 women. Now, if I can pick the best 10 out of the men or out of the women, I'll take the men because I can probably actually get 3 or 4 actual men, right? Maybe. Right. Even then, I would need to survey them. If I'm having to take them sight unseen, give me 100 women over 100 males any fucking day of the week. Any day of the week. That's how society's gotten. So when I was socialized in Southeast Arkansas, if we took 100 males, adult males from my town, that was almost all men, right? That would have been all men, okay? Through actual rites of passage. The culture churned out men. Everybody I grew up with became a man. That's a status, right? Now, what is taught nowadays is how to fake the status, because what's built into women at a biological level is they have no choice but to respond viscerally to certain behaviors, certain body language, certain nonverbal communications. So a male can fake those behaviors, right? The problem with that is eventually the rubber's going to meet the road. And then, so the lady can have a high degree of respect for you, but then that will wane over time based on your own inability to live up to that standard, if that makes sense. And I've failed in this area too at times, right? This is it's a war of attrition. And women are experts in our masculinity. They're absolute experts in it. They can't explain to you how to be masculine, but anything you do that falls below the standard, they immediately fucking notice it, whether they tell you or not. They're the yin to our yang in that way. Surprise, surprise. It's just how it's supposed to work. Yep. Well, that's another thing, Michael Stephen. Yeah, I see women driving and the man in the passenger seat, the male. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I drive? What are you talking about? Like, it's not even a question. But then look at the societal programming. When you see, if you're watching a movie, if there's a man and a woman in a car, she's almost always driving because the media won't show her in a subservient position to him. I've seen advertisements on the side of a bus. I still remember this. It was a married couple with their child, and the woman is in the foreground, like tending to the child, and then the man's in the background washing dishes. See, now I wash dishes because I'm I'm a clean person and I like to wash dishes. That's another part of being a man. I'm not concerning myself with, well, how does this look that I'm, it's just me and her there. Of course I'm washing dishes. I just cleaned all the floors in here, by the way. I finally got off my ass and cleaned the bathroom, which was disgusting, by the way, and mopped the floors. Yeah, nothing like clean floors, y'all. So anyway, I'm a clean person, right? I let it get dirty, then I clean it up. And a lot of ladies fairly disgusting. I mean, I've been around a lot of ladies. I'll tell you this, like per capita, women's rooms way more disgusting than men's rooms. It's just men's rooms are dirtier because we go in there more often and we're more likely to use a public restroom. If you send 100 women into a women's room, you send 100 men into a men's room, that women's room is fucking off the chain disgusting compared to the men's room. Women are way more disgusting than us in a way. And when you talk about the sexual talk, oh my God, a group of men talking about sex and a group of women talking about sex, we can't hold a candle to them. It's just off the fucking chain. I learned this working in a restaurant, by the way, waiting tables with a bunch of ladies who, because I was comfortable with myself as a man, they were comfortable with themselves as women and would just express themselves. And that's another thing, fellas. Can you be non-judgmental around your woman so that she will tell you everything, right? Because the second you're judgmental against her, she just will never tell you anything in that area again, right? So if she goes off to work and she stops at the store and some guy hits on her and it's not up to her whether or not she responds to him, hitting on her, and she feels some type of way and he. Well, if she comes home and starts to tell you this, if you even have a second's judgment on your face, she will never tell you these things ever again. It's over, right? So do you want the information? Because as the boss of the relationship, as the leader, you need to know what the fuck's going on, see? So can you discipline yourself to just sit there? And because when she tells a story, she's going to be all lit up again. Like, can your little fucking ego, can your fragile inner child deal with an actual woman as she is? Most of you can't, right? Most of you can't. Now, because I'm diabolical and fucking strategic and, got some certain fucking dark triad personality traits, I was able to just do that and just completely, and I'm not that jealous anyway, but just divorce myself from fucking any feelings of, well, look at this bitch out here, fucking shaking her ass at the gas station. But it's like, look, she's easy to hit on. She's charming. Like, that's one of the first things I noticed about her. She's charming and easy to hit on. She's very open and approachable. So I'm going to meet somebody with these characteristics, and then 6 months later, I'm angry with her because she's out there in the world with her fucking natural characteristics. See, this is what men do, by the way. This is the insanity of being a man in a relationship with a woman. And we talk about that they try to change us. Well, that's a two-way street, partner. That's a two-way street. Yeah. Well, and I see Heidi's the type, she takes the lead naturally, I can tell. I've observed Heidi enough that some women just naturally take the lead. My sisters are like that. But you realize that's overall that's less likely, right? That's less likely. Than normal, right? But more and more women are having to take the lead because males ain't men no more, and they're not taking the lead. So it's like once there's a power vacuum, it's just sort of they have to, right? But yeah, some women have a certain type of personality where they just take the lead no matter what, which is fine. But I don't know. What if I don't let you take the lead? See, that's a veto power because I'm allowing that, right? Which I might be happy to allow that. I might go for it. less for me to worry about. Have at it, lady. What's up, Christina? Good to see you. No, it's never equal, Jen. It's never equal. A man and a woman together, it's never equal. Somebody always has the veto power. This equality thing is just a lie. You're not equal. Nope. Sorry, you're not. Somebody always has the veto power no matter what. And if he don't have it, she's got it. And I'm here to tell you, fellas, a man ain't a man got a woman for a boss. If you ain't the king of your castle, you're not a man, period. I don't know what to tell you. That's just how it works. Yeah. There you go. Awesome. Team drivers. They make the most money. I'm a truck driver, by the way, Christina. I'm a truck driver. I'm not working as one now, thank God. I hate it. I love driving. The driving part's awesome. I hate pretty much everything else about the industry. I like to drive the truck, though. That's the fun part. Yeah, I could see that, Heidi. Yeah, I could see that. Well, that's the thing is, this is what I'm saying, Kimba, is as a man, where I grew up, it made us be able to, all of the males could do certain things, right? No matter what. Because again, a man is a status, right? And so a lot of mine was around, providing, being able to go to work. This is what my society taught us, right? The way I was socialized in the local culture. Go out, earn a living, be responsible, be reliable, protect the wife and the child, right, and the potential children. That's ultimately it, realistically, right? And I grew up with a concept of children are seen and not heard, and things were considered women's work. So yeah, I can wash the dishes, but that's women's work, right? That's still viewed as women. That's called women's work. It's never equal, by the way. It's just never equal, because that's just not how that works. Yeah, I am actually. And I grew up with two sisters who I then lived with in college, by the way. Just disgusting. Just absolute. I'm just saying overall, there's plenty of women who are clean freaks. There's plenty of men who are fucking. But again, we're talking about men. I'm not talking about these males, these grown adult babies. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about actual men. All right. Well, but see, that's the thing is boys aren't set up to have psychological games. See, that's the women are way ahead of us. See, thank God I was 3 years older than my sister, because diabolical, man. If she was older than me, I never would have had a chance. I needed a 3-year head start just to be able to fend that bitch off. And no offense, I'm not trying to call anybody a bitch, but fucking hey, dude, off the charts psychological warfare with that one. But I learned a lot from that. I learned a lot. I'm very, very good. You don't need to be a mind reader. You need to know how to read body language. See, when she comes through the door, if I'm in the apartment or house and she comes through the door, I see her face. I know everything I need to know. I know how her day went. See, I don't ask how was your day. I already know. I looked at your face when you came through the door. I know how your day was, right? And I don't want to be asked how my day was. I don't like small talk. Like, don't ask me how my day was. If I got something to say, I'll say it. If I need to tell you some shit, I'll tell you. Leave me the fuck alone. Right? That's the key to Benton. Leave me the fuck alone. Now that's another thing. A lot of ladies can't leave you the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. If I got something to say, I'll come say it. I promise you. But yeah, I don't need to ask how was your day. I see it on your face. Right? But then if it's like, hey, I see you had a tough day. Why don't you chill out for a little while, whatever, But I'm not going to be in trouble, right? Because there's an expectation. That's another problem is these certain expectations get set. And like now I can't be in trouble. How can I be what do you mean? I'm a grown ass man. How can I be in trouble? Oh, he's going to have to sleep on the couch. It's like, why would I sleep on the couch? It's my fucking place, Now, if I'm living at her place, now what's wrong with my life that I'm living in a woman's place, right? Now I'm a gigolo. That's a gigolo, by the way. I'm a gigolo. Yeah, the gigolo might have to sleep on the couch. Well, fuck, he better have another broad's house to go to. Because if I'm a gigolo and this woman starts tripping and now I got to sleep on the couch, well, I probably just ought to walk out the door and go to some other broad's house. I mean, that's what that is, right? So it's like, why? Wait a minute. If she doesn't want to sleep in the bed, that's fine. Why? It's my house. Why wouldn't I sleep in the bed? Like, this doesn't even make sense. Like what? So why would I ever be in trouble or sleep on the couch? Like, that shit don't make no sense. None of that ever made sense to me. It's like, what are you talking about? And I've never lost a relationship with a woman. I've never lost an argument with a woman I was dating, by the way, or married to. Never. I'm super good at arguing, and they're ditzy. I like ditzy chicks. So yeah, how they can't beat me in an argument. So how the hell would I ever lose an argument? Doesn't make any sense, But anyway, I didn't mean to go off on a jag about that. How long have I been rambling about dating and relationships now? Well, you probably don't know any men, Kimba. I hate to say it. I hate to break it to you because men are destroyed and they're not men anymore. So it's almost all males. And I'm telling you, every time I go in that grocery store, it's off the chain weird because they just start flocking to me and following me around. I'm not even joking. But, I'm 48, so it's like the women near my age are not, it's not like these are hot broads following me around the fucking store. There's no men. There's just not any men out here anymore. So yeah, I get an uncomfortable feeling just trying to go shopping. I try to get in there as soon as they open and get the fuck out. I'm not even joking. If I go in there when it's like busy, it's horrible. Because they just, oh my God, an actual man. They can spot it like that. And it's not that I'm special. It's got nothing to do with me. It's just, look, an actual man. Holy shit. It's sad, man. I feel sorry for ladies nowadays. I really do, because there's no men. Men are destroyed. There's no men. It's just over. It's a wrap. We had a good run, supposedly. So I hear. I don't know. I caught the tail end of it, right? Because I was born in a time warp in Arkansas. I caught the tail end of men still being men still being men, and men still being in charge. That shit's over, man. The women are in charge, and y'all ain't men. I don't deal with it, by the way. Deal with it. Thank you, Capricorny. And until males and women, because women are still women, by the way. We're the one who ain't men no more. But until both sexes actually face this thing as it is and figure out how to start cranking out actual men again. See, it's over with for us. Like it's always about the youth, right? It ain't about us no more. We're old. We're the old fogies. Whether I'm 18 in my brain, right? I'm forever young in here, so it's fine. But intellectually, I recognize at 48, it's a wrap for me. It's always about the youth, man. It's always about the youth. So that's who is going to have to figure it the fuck out, and they're going to have to figure out how to turn boys into men. And by the way, women, you can't turn a boy into a man. I hate to tell you, you don't know nothing about it. Yeah, y'all are experts in masculinity. More correctly, you're experts in what's not masculine. Okay. You don't know nothing about turning a boy into a man. You can't. You're not equipped for that. I was the man of the house by age 12 when my dad wasn't around, meaning I literally outranked my mom. I'm not kidding. Well, of course, because that's right about the time the testosterone started to kick in, right? As soon as I'm making more testosterone than her and I'm halfway capable of, looking around and seeing what the fuck is happening, I'm in charge when my dad's not around. Doesn't mean I'm bossing my mom around. It means if some shit pops off, I better be prepared to protect the fucking homestead. That's what that means. It's just how that works. And 12's probably a bit hyperbolic, but certainly by 14. Probably right about the age that she couldn't spank me anymore. All right. Anyway. Thank you, anonymous person, for the Cash App donation. Appreciate that. I love women. I've always loved women. And this is back to the thumbnails. I never fully made my point on the thumbnails is a lot of that is, it's a woman. Like it's a woman with a certain facial expression. It's a close up on a woman's face. Women are way more interesting than men, in that way. Just way more interesting. Especially, in the arts and the movies and stuff. And not that men are uninteresting, but women way more interesting. To me. So that's how we ended up with the thumbnail today. And that is my favorite movie of all time. Although it's starting to lose a little bit of its luster. The last couple of times I watched it, I noticed a couple of problems with it. But that's okay. I've seen it a bunch of times. But yeah, donations are awesome. Yeah. Yep. Well, and then the thing about being a boy is we're sort of dragged kicking and screaming into manhood. When a boy's a boy, he doesn't want to go be a man. Like there's certain things, that are attractive about being an adult, but dude, it's fucking scary, man. And women, especially a lot of the feminist propaganda is sort of directed towards toxic masculinity and, that men are scary, men can be aggressive and all of this as if because I'm a man, I don't deal with that. Are you kidding me? Like when there's some very aggressive fucking scary dude around, we're scared too, ladies. I mean, now part of that is courage is what do I do with that fear? But it's not just like I'm such a badass motherfucker that, some monkeys in here acting all aggressive, Now, yeah, I will go confront the situation if I need to. But that's courage. That doesn't mean I'm not scared. When there's a big scary dude around, guess what? We're scared too. It's just natural. You know, this idea that just it's just women that are that bear the brunt of that. No, that's not how that works. Then again, we don't really have these people in society anymore now, do we? You know, surprise, surprise, for the most part, this has just been removed. You know, most of those guys are in the penitentiary by now. Well, women are just way more, you know, psychologically adept. Yeah, I love Juliette Lewis. Yeah, great actress. Big fan. Yeah, Natural Born Killers, which is, if y'all haven't seen that, this is, yeah, I would watch it now because it's actually starting to lose its relevance, but still relevant culturally, I would say. Excuse me. Yeah, Natural Born Killers. Tarantino wrote that, by the way. Oliver Stone directed it and wrote, well, Tarantino wrote the original screenplay, and it was rewritten by Oliver Stone and some other guy, and then, I believe, and then Stone directed it. Yeah, great movie. Oh, yeah. Feminized males. Of course they can. Anybody can be violent. But that's the thing is, though, you know, again, when I talk about man being a status, see, I've been around some of these college-age males, you know, in their 20s, and they're not men, most of them. So they can't, I'm an actual man, so they can't do anything to me. You know, anytime I've gotten into conflict with them, there's just nothing to them. And I don't fight, by the way. I'm a pacifist. I have no fighting skills whatsoever, but it's just like, if there's actually some conflict, I'm just like looking at them like, what the fuck are you going to do about it? It's like, what? You know, it's basically a boy versus a man. There's just nothing, even if they're bigger than me and stronger than me. I'm just like, what? Like, y'all ain't going to be able to do nothing. I've told them before, I said, I've had them get in. I got into it with a couple at the library one time, a couple of college-age dudes, and I was like, what are y'all going to do about it? I said, what are you going to do? Follow me out here and beat the shit out of me? I said, we all know that's not going to happen. So you might as well just leave me the fuck alone. You know, it's like, what is this? You know? But if it's an actual man, you know, I'm probably not going to be able to deal with him that way. You know, just dismiss him like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you ain't going to do nothing. What the heck? Yeah, pussy whipped. That's funny. Oh, we've all been pussy whipped. I can talk a good game. Shit. We've all been whipped. We've all been pee whipped. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a real thing. Yeah, that's a very intoxicating. But you know, I grew up in the you know, the older kids trying to get me to spell their finger and stuff like that. That used to be a real thing, like on the fucking school bus, you know. Because where I grew up, like as I got older, you know, so at first I'm sitting near the front of the school bus, and as I'm getting older, you know, I'm back there with the miscreants in the back, right? So you know, when I'm getting to that middle area, the older boys, I'm getting closer to the older boys, and at a certain point, it's like, smell my finger, you know. And if you don't know the implication of that, I don't know if I even want to explain it. But yeah, the smell my finger on the bus. Oh, but yeah, Mr. Me will tell you he's got no shortage of women interested in him, and it's mostly based on that he's an actual man with half a brain, you know, which we know he's very intelligent, but you know, he's halfway got his shit together, and that's really all it takes nowadays. Like I try to tell people, I'm 48, I'm from Arkansas, I got all my teeth other than a couple of them that are broken, right? Like one of them's broken in half. I've effectively got all my teeth, all my hair. And, you know, I'm employable, and I'm not on fucking parole, and I don't have a criminal record, and I'm not hooked on drugs. Like, just that means I'm going to get interest from women. There's nothing else required. You know, this ain't the West Coast. Oh, man. Well, yeah. Yeah, these are not high standards out here in Arkansas, I can assure you. Especially if I wanted to date ladies my own age. Yeah. But I feel sorry, like I say, I feel sorry for ladies. It's just, yeah, it's not a good time for the ladies right now, unfortunately. Michael Stevens said he's in trouble. He may not be able to smoke all this golden hash. Man, eat it. Eat it. If it's actual hash, you can decarboxylate it and eat it. Eat it. Yeah, if you see a real man, grab him up and don't let him go. Same with the women. Well, and I hate to break it to you, but a woman's a woman because she's got the parts. I mean, that's just how that works. That's the primary difference between a man and a man is a status. A woman's a woman because she's got the parts, and that's just how that is. I didn't make it that way. Don't be mad at me. Right? Don't be mad at me. Yeah, eat the hash, man. Eat that hash. Dude, I would eat it before the flight. And I get airsick, so when I used to have to travel, especially for work, I think I can remember like my last trip for work. I fucking missed my flight because I got so high. I stood in the line at the wrong airline to check in. I've just standed there, fucking baked to the gills, and by the time I got up there, I was like, oh fuck, it's the wrong airline, and I didn't have time to get on my flight. And they were like, yeah, we can rebook you, but the lady was like, yeah, just tell me you couldn't find the airport. You know, she like guided me into using the proper excuse, you know, so that I could get she could just rebook me without my company having to pay for another ticket. So I was just like, hey, I'm traveling for work and I just stood in the wrong fucking line. Can you help me out? What can we do here? You know? Hot wings. Oh, okay. I see. Well, don't just cook it. If the problem is if you get it too hot, it won't be any good anymore. It'll release all the fucking THC out of it. You got to cook it at a certain temperature. Yeah, that's right, Sterling Ray. We all have feminine and masculine energy. That's right. So for somebody like me who was, you know, socialized in a hyper masculine way, my growth mostly came through learning how to access the feminine within myself. That's where most of my personal growth has come from. Now, these males, they need the growth in the masculine first, in my opinion. Then they can worry about the feminine. And in fact, they might not need to worry. They might already be in touch with their feminine. That's not the problem. See, we have everything backwards. It's not the problem is not that the males are in touch with their feminine side. It's that they're not in touch with their masculine side. That's the problem. Because if a man, especially if a male's in a relationship with a woman, if he imagines the two of them in bed at 2 a.m, you hear the glass break downstairs. If he doesn't look forward to going down there and confronting that situation, he's got a lot of work to do, I would say. Because people used to ask me, like when I lived in the streets and traveled around with a backpack, they're like, aren't you worried about getting robbed? I said, shit, I look forward to somebody trying to rob me. Are you kidding me? And hell, we saw it on stream. These people were most likely going to try to rob me. It's like, shit, are you kidding me? Now, that was a little fraught with peril because I'm, you know, in a weakened state. I can't, you know, before I could just run away and shit if I needed to. Like, you know, I was 120 pounds still then and, you know, fucked up physically. But, yeah, when I was 180 pounds and, you know, had my full athletic abilities and all of that, shit, I would look forward to somebody trying to rob me. That would be fun. It's like, okay, I'm interested to see how this is going to go. These people think they're going to be able to rob me. Okay. But see, that's to be very in touch with the masculine or the aggressive side. It's like, all right, okay. You just almost like laugh at them. Like, really? Really? This is what we're going to do? Yeah. Yeah. Who wants some troofies? That's right. I got 5 on it, by the way. Hang on. Let's do this. Mitchell IQ hashtag. I got 5 on it. There we go. Yep, indeed. He's probably getting more donations than I am, actually, especially since he goes to all these different channels. Yep. Yeah, the single moms. My grandmother started a business. She was a successful small business person in the 60s in Arkansas as a single mom. Like, I've got just a bunch of badass women in my family, so I never believed this thing that women were, like, weak and couldn't do shit. It's like, wait a minute, I see the women in my family were badasses, so I don't believe that. I never believed that crap. Yeah, well, it's by design, as we know, Kimba. It's by design. She says it's like one sex traumatized the other. Yeah, it's by design. And the fact is, the way a man sees himself a lot, you know, based on how women respond to him. Our self-image has a lot to do with how ladies see us. And especially, you know, that's where you get into the incel territory and all of this. That's bad for society when these certain males are allowed to get to fucking 25 years old and never had a woman give them the time of the day. That's bad for them and it's bad for society. I don't think it's a coincidence that women were trying, girls my own age or older were trying to indoctrinate me into some sort of, sexual arena starting with 12. I'm not even kidding. I was so sheltered. This older girl, we went and some Jehovah's Witness thing. I ended up at these people's house and just met this girl for the first time. She's probably 14 or 15. She was trying to get with me. I was so sheltered. I didn't even know that's what was happening. I probably could have lost mine. And again, men can't lose theirs, but you know what I'm talking about. I probably could have had sex for the first time 12 years old. It took till 15, but imagine if I had gone to 25, right? Like what kind of weirdo would I have been if I, you know what I mean? It's just not normal. But like how many of these guys, the way society is, and it's bad for society. And then now with the porn in the pocket, right? And look, I watch it. I've talked about it. It's like once every 3 months or something, I end up, I lose my discipline temporarily and I'm watching porn. But I'm fucking 48, right? It's not like, good God, if I was 20 and women didn't want nothing to do with me, what would that have looked like? Fuck, it would have been horrible. Yeah, amazing, Mr. Me. Yeah, women, man. Hats off to him. Yeah, he was raised by a single mom. She raised 4 of them without welfare. Yeah. Amazing. Absolutely. Well, let me take a quick break. I'm going to go to the restroom here. I guess Flow State's probably done. Although I haven't seen him pop in over here. Who knows? Has everybody passed out over there yet? Let me see. I haven't even looked at how many. 41? What's wrong with you people? Don't you know it's my day off? What are y'all doing here? That means a lot, though. Good to see everybody. Let's see. Surely Flow's done by now.
Okay.
Nope, still live. All right. Well, wow, 41 over there. Shout out to the chat, man. You guys and gals are awesome. Love that. All right, let's... I've had him on the screen the whole time.
That's where I'm at.
All right, I'll be back.
I need a program to pass to
the totem pole is called OTW.
Omega, right?
So
Omega or something.
You want to know the difference between Flow State and OTW?
God, do I?
Flow State
I hope everything.
Never mind. I don't want to be mean.
What is it? Tell us.
I don't want to be mean to
Lambda?
It's basically a
Lambda?
story of success versus failure.
I'll accept that.
Oh, man. I don't want to be hard on OTW. I like OTW a lot.
You got to know failure until, then you will know
Yeah,
success.
Once you watch that broadcast and you realize that he started a new season to the whole show and had
Well, let's be fair here. OTW is ahead of Moose when it comes to broadcasting. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is. So I don't know why Moose is making, but whatever, it's fine.
he had a partner, right? And that partner was supposed to show up, but that partner didn't show up. And then he was even late to his own first show. And then to top it off, I go over there because I feel bad for the guy. And then he leaves his own broadcast for an hour and a half. And I'm sitting there just talking smack about him while he's not even there. It's his own damn broadcast. You can't get much worse than that. When I leave people, I'm on the road, I travel a lot, right, Hank? And so when I'm on the road, I start the stream and sometimes I leave for 4 hours. I come back, people are like, hey, thanks for coming back, Moose. He comes back and we're like, so why the fuck did we show up? It's just a whole different vibe over there, all right?
Wait, no call, no show on his own stream. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's bad optics. I don't know how. I don't know. People have heard me say over and over and over again. It blows my fucking mind how you can.
Meanwhile,
he's the guy who goes to work and he'll take a shit on the clock, but he doesn't take a 10-minute shit. He takes an hour and a half long shit.
They are still
comes
wearing
back
their gloves.
and everybody's like, "Hey, dude, we've been working for an hour and a half. Where you been, bro?" And he's like, "Oh, I had to take a shit, dude."
Who's like that?
OTW. He's like, he leaves for an hour and a half, takes a shit on the clock, right? It's not even off the clock.
I mean,
it's on the clock.
I used to exclusively take shits on the clock because anything else is unfrugal, right? It's poor money management to wait till
right,
you're
but
home.
it's not your business, right? If it's your business, you should be showing up and running that shit. You shouldn't be the one taking a shit for an hour and a half.
Okay, yeah, I got you. That's correct.
She co-hosts Cecil Drake.
What are you
The
showing
whole
us there? Is that,
on business is so you can take a shit for an hour on the job if you want to take a shit for an hour on the job. Wow, what the fuck, man? That's why you're your own boss.
Okay, so you're your own
Yeah.
boss, but you have people that show up for free, right? People that show up
But
and give
if
their
someone
time, energy, and
gives you
attention. So
the
if you
rate,
want those people to show up, you have to have that energy.
No,
You have to embrace
if
that.
you
You have to have
actually,
some sort of leadership in order to lead
that is
people.
what the leader does. The leaders take shits for 1.5 hours. That's what Amber is
this guy
trying to
gets
explain.
They don't. A leader
there's-
They
drops a
don't, though.
fucking deuce in 30
somehow you
seconds
don't
and
get
hits the
you don't
fucking
get
floor.
it. You know, it's like
there's a
OTW.
caricature of leaders that is that, right? But in real life, that's not how it works.
That's a boss. That's not a leader. It's a boss.
Okay, good point. Good point. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
That's a good
Well,
point. That's a totally good point.
You,
Totally
you
good
guys
point.
haven't been enough in corporate structure yet, to understand that shit.
I've done both. I owned my own business for 4.5 years, and then I also was a corporate slave for like 15 years. So I've done it all, and I've rode the ladder, and I did all that corporate beta boy bitch shit. I'll tell you, a leader shows up to his fucking like if Flow State just bounced out of his broadcast on the first episode and he's like telling everybody, dude, we got the best movie in town, bro. We got the best movie in town. And then all of a sudden you get to the fucking movie theater, it plays 2 minutes of the show, and then the show goes blank for an hour. Are people going to still sit there and fucking support you? No. Come on. It's just plain fucking
but why are you
common
telling
sense.
me? This is something you should tell OTW.
I have told him I get thrown
Okay.
out. I told him he bent the knee the other day and he damn near had a heart attack. He started crying on the fucking stream.
Like he should. I mean,
Like legit crying?
Look, there was some fucking tears in his eyes. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's a shame that OTW.
Do you feel good about that? Do you feel good about that?
Do I feel good about it? Yeah, because I want him to do better and be better. OTW needs to be a better man so that way he will stop feeling like a little bitch.
Yeah,
If you don't want to
OTW
feel like a
calls
little
for
bitch,
attention.
don't be a little bitch in life. That's the point.
He's gonna have to have his own lessons, just like we all did. And whether you agree with him or not, or what he does.
So
I mean,
what?
like,
I'm not allowed to have my opinion? 'Cause
No.
I'm not all
Yeah,
cupcake and
yeah.
pogo
You're not
and
allowed to have your
no.
opinion.
You are allowed to have your own opinion. This is just my opinion. You're allowed to have your own opinion.
Amen, brother. Amen. I mean, just look at this though. This show's been going on for 6 hours, 58 minutes. How many people? We got 40 people still watching. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It was going overnight. It's a success story. You turn around, you look at OTWs. He's got 13 people showing up. He's playing somebody else's video for the first 20 minutes. And then he shows up and he's like, hey, can I get somebody to come up here on panel? Please? Will somebody come up here and talk to me?
So by implication, Moose, then if you go live and you get like 1 or 2 people watching your broadcast, then you must be even less successful than OTW.
Wait, what? I am pretty less
By
successful.
implication.
I'm so stoned right now.
I wasn't
Like,
listening. I was looking at the chat. I was looking at
You just tuned
Shrek.
me out. You just tuned
No,
me
it
out.
wasn't tuning you out. I was looking at what Shrek was saying. He was directly correlating some stuff to Flow State and me. And he's not very intelligent. He's like the
It was a bit
bouncer.
painful, Nachiketa.
You know, that's the only job for Tarek is the bouncer because he's not smart enough to work the cash register. Now, Nachi, what were you saying?
I don't know. No, never mind. But I don't know if I would characterize Tarek to be not intelligent. I mean, I at least in my experience, I think he's quite intelligent.
He's an idiot with
Yeah,
intellect.
I
Me.
mean, when
That's just
I
me, though.
understand when your intelligence level is below 100, like you guys all think you're smart, but I'm up at the 150. I'm at the 150 level, and
You know how
Yeah,
we know
I'm not
No,
it's
you're not,
not,
Moose.
because you're saying that it's 150. I'm just saying.
5150, honey.
But that's my
5150.
opinion, man.
Did you hear me? I said 5150. All right, thank you.
You're a genius. You're a genius, Moose. I'm just a dullard. But what
I'm
do I
either
what do I
genius
know?
or crazy. Embers doesn't know what 5150 means.
I think we're all on the same somewhat intelligence level, because you'd almost have to be able to either put up with some of you or to be able to keep up with the conversation.
Yeah. Or to even enjoy it, or somehow
Well,
be bothered by it. Yeah.
And you wouldn't want it to
there's
be
different types.
negative.
We talked about this before, but there are different types of intelligence, and just because somebody has high IQ, that doesn't mean they can actually have a coherent conversation with other panel
Yeah.
members. So there's a little bit of a
too.
balance. But like vast majority of people, at least I met in these panels, are probably slightly above average intelligence or more, at least in my experience. But it's hard to say. It's just my guess based on their experiences, the way they talk and their education, all that. But those are all like indication or indicators to me about quote unquote, how intelligent somebody is. But there's of course emotional intelligence as well that some people seem to lack compared to other people though too.
I disagree. I disagree completely. I don't think emotion and intelligence have anything to do with each other.
That's stupid. That's
I
stupid.
believe in it.
Because let me
Just
tell you
kidding.
why.
I'm
Let me
kidding.
tell you why. This is the wrong statement. That is,
Moose is joking, actually, boy. I don't know if you got that or not, but
I still want to explain, because there's feeling. Okay. So how do I say this?
Feelings, nothing more than feelings.
Yeah, dude, that's
Gotta
something else.
Get my
That's something.
feelings,
Yeah, but
feelings of
But now you're
hate.
getting all in these feelings,
The
emotion, like these
Offspring.
Hollywood, like these
Boy, I'm
Hollywood.
sorry. I had to say that was Americana.
it's called
The
feelers these
Offspring,
days.
But
Americana
let me explain to you. I mean, let me get back down to the basics.
Please.
Okay, as a child, as a baby, you thought that fire looked warm and impressive, and as a baby, or as a child, you would want to touch it, right? Like, oh, there's fire. Oh, it feels warm. Oh, it feels nice. And then you touch the fire, and what do you feel? What do you feel? You feel burn, right? You feel burn. If you get too close to the fire, you burn.
You only feel burning sensation if you have gonorrhea, brother.
Do you want to interrupt me, or do you want to actually make a point? Okay.
Well, I would
What's
just
the-
say there's certain times in your life.
Okay,
when you
so
feel burning,
so
and there's certain
you touch
times
the
you won't,
fire,
Yeah.
like the
you
burning
touch
of
the fire,
Christ.
You touch the fire, you get burned, and that's the moment that you should have learned. But some people never learn. So some
Well,
people,
that's me.
you learn. You'll learn.
Yeah, Voy, why
You'll
haven't you
never
learned that
put your
when you go on
finger
a panel
into the
with a whole
burning
bunch of
coal?
people that you're
No,
going to get
you'll learn.
interrupted and people aren't going to listen and they're just
I
going to
think my
wait for
mom
their
said it was
turn
like
to
3
talk
times.
and it's not
Because-
going to be a
because-
conversation
because-
half the time? Why haven't you learned that, Voy?
A point of feelings not leading to knowledge. Well, feelings are the actual.
This is part of the
things
reason
that
I do
will
live
lead
streams
to
7 days a week.
knowledge.
So when I have
They are
something to
not
say, I know
opposite
I'll
of
be
each
able to
other
say it, and
at
at least a
all.
few people
Okay?
will listen and understand,
point.
most likely.
I agree with you, boy.
At least a few.
Look, boy, I'd just like to welcome Timmy to the stream.
Part of the reason. It's
Timmy
not the
is
whole
a
reason, but it's
very
part of the reason.
intelligent being. He is frail. He's very thin.
I mean, if I stop going live every day,
what's up?
live
Timmy?
even
Why
on
are
my
you
day
here?
off, by the way, and tomorrow my day
Oh,
off.
hi. Oh, do you not want me here? I'll go.
I mean, I'm just surprised to see you here.
I
'cause
couldn't
you're kind of
imagine having
always
to
a
try to find
shit-talking
panels
douchebag.
to express myself. It'd be horrible.
So I'm just surprised that you're here.
For me, anyway.
I was trying to say how frail and pale.
Some people
he
are good
was.
at it. I'm not one of those people.
Great. I'm a shit talking douchebag. I
Well,
just,
yeah.
I was just curious how many of you
Clearly,
guys,
Tim.
if all you guys do is just gonna bitch about other people, or like, I was just looking at the
You
genocide
see, he's
going
in
on
his feelers this
Gaza.
morning, folks. I can
And,
break this down to you.
I was just interested. All you guys are like big, awesome truth people. Like, how many of you guys are not paying
So, hey,
income
what-
tax
what
and
did you
capital
pay
Well, you
gains
know what I
tax?
figured out with
I'm
Timmy.
really interested about that.
Or drama,
Because
or,
Timmy
no, no,
intentionally
I just see,
derails
I just see
shit.
the genocide going on.
So now-
and then I want to press you guys.
He's sitting
Okay.
in Thailand.
What
right now.
genocide?
How many of you
Genocide are
guys-
you talking
There's no
about?
genocide.
Oh, in
I'm
Gaza,
tired
just
of this,
wondering how
man. And
many of you are paying
Paul's been pushing this idea that the world's collapsing, World War III, all these things are happening, and then he wants to say, and then you folks are behaving this way. And I'm like, no, that's got nothing to do with anything. I'm 48 years old. I've lived in America my whole life. Nothing of consequence has ever happened. Have y'all not noticed that? There's been no wars. There's been no invasions. As far as what's happened within the United States, the lower 48, nothing's ever happened. What do we have? The Oklahoma City, the Twin Towers. What's happened in my lifetime? Oh, a financial crisis. Oh, there's another financial collapse. Well, that shit happened in 08, 09, as far as I know. Oh, yeah, crazy inflation when I was a little kid in the fucking 70s and the 80s. You know, well, I mean, what's actually happened here? Well, we had Katrina. You know, there's been Mount St. Helens was in 1980. You know, there's not been much. So forgive me for wanting to frame so I'm not going to frame my human interactions day to day, moment to moment based on the fucking news cycle. And Timmy's promoting this idea. Did you hear what he's saying? You know, he's saying, you know, oh, there's all these things are happening in the world, and look at how you're behaving. Like, this is harmful, by the way. He's attempting to inflict emotional damage on people here and psychological damage, as if I'm doing something wrong. Now I'm responsible for the news cycle? Fuck you, Timmy. I'm not responsible for whatever's being promoted at the level of the fear campaign that the mainstream, or not even the mainstream media, just the fucking 24-hour news cycle, right? So you can't even call it mainstream media. Timmy's in here. On who? Behalf of Paul Enslaved? See what I'm saying? What is this, by the way? And Timmy is just a disingenuous person, because I've observed his communications. Now, is he behaving as an agent, right? Whether knowingly or unknowingly? Has he been dispatched by an agency or a government or various entities to put forth these narratives to people on panels, right? Now, that doesn't have to be a formalized thing, right? But what is this? You know, I'm seeing this more and more. And by the way, this is today is the first of the 30 nights in the motel paid for, the $800. And the donos last month mostly paid for it. Came very close to paying for that, so thank you all for that. At some point, I'm going to have to go figure out another way to make money. You know, I'm going to have to figure out how to feed myself. But right now, there's still enough savings. I'm good through this month. And I don't know, but it's beginning to look a lot like truck driving, unfortunately. But that's okay. I'm a big boy. I like to work. And that's something in the notes for today real quick before I get back to Timmy here. Is, you know, I think some folks may wonder, why is Benton doing fucking all this live streaming every day, hours and hours and hours of live streams 7 days a week, effectively? You know, is he addicted? Well, no, I had my internet addiction in the late 90s, early 2000s. I was an early adopter of the internet. So, no, that's not what it is. It's just like I get into a mode when I'm truck driving. Like, it's easier to just truck drive 7 days a week. And what I found was, after months on the road, you know, my first long stretch as a rookie, I did 14 weeks on the road as a rookie. That's, you know, that's not a lot of rookies do that. Rookie being a long haul truck driver, like in their first year, right? And so the way long haul usually works is you get 1 day off for every week you're on the road, if that makes sense. So, you know, a lot of people will be out 2 weeks and then they take a weekend off and then they go back out on the road. So, you know, if I've been on the road for 2 months, and then I come back to the terminal, I'm like, hey, I'm going to take 7 days off. Well, what I found was that, number one, it's funny. Like one time I did that, and I didn't even start feeling tired until like day 3, because it was, now my body's realizing, wait a minute, we're not truck driving every day. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and get some rest. I actually began to feel tired, right? Which, that's an interesting thing. And that's a problem I had with this last job. The job before last, rather, was that I was, with my illness, I was just done by about noon every day. My body just had nothing left in the tank. So I needed to be rolling out of the truck stop about midnight, you know, and be done by around noon to 2 p.m. at the latest. And so they would let me sit around sometimes till like 10 a.m. And I would just tell them, I said, look, if I don't drive that day, my body just goes into a rest mode. I'm sick, you know, I'm having all these challenges. You know, once my body sees we're not driving today, it just shuts down and goes into rest mode. So you guys can't just have me sitting around for 10 hours. You know, I've been awake since midnight. Y'all got me sitting around for 10 hours. Then you want me to spring into action. It just doesn't fucking work that way. But so the streaming is kind of the same way, right? Like my body kind of got into that rest mode this morning, and I feel fine now because I bounced back fast. I don't need much rest to bounce right back, but it's funny. I could feel it this morning. I was like, once I didn't go live at 3 a.m. or whatever, I felt kind of tired, you know. It's funny how that works. We sort of train ourselves into that, you know. So I'd made a few notes before I went live, and you know, the grinding. It's just easier on some level for me to just go day after day after day than trying to kind of stop and start. And it's better for the audience, I think. You know, who just, you know, ultimately we're just trying to get a little bit of human interaction, I would say. You know, whether or not I'm interesting, like Miss Blanche agreed with me. She's like, yeah, we really just need a streamer in the seat. You know, we just need somebody there to fucking run the broadcast. You know, and I've known that since pretty much day one. But some of this criticism of OTW is, you know, he just hasn't yet developed the ability to just fucking go up there and talk, right? This didn't come naturally to me. I've developed the ability to just talk and talk and fucking talk. Now, some of that's my background as a writer, certainly helped, but, you know, he'll figure it out, I feel like, or he'll quit. One of the two, right? He'll figure it out or he'll quit. Thank you, Heidi. And I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to be too critical of, of OTW, and I like him. He's got a very likable personality, and just somebody who tries to do live streams. You know, somebody who does live streams. You know, that's it's not the easiest, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's also not the easiest. You know, but Timmy here it's fascinating because I think I finally realized, because I've tried to get along with Timmy, and I finally just realized whether he knows it or not, he's just like Lou. He's intentionally going to derail whatever's happening. But he may not know that's his intention. See, that's the thing, is you say, well, wait a minute, how does he not know that's his intention? I don't know. I'm telling you that I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and not just say he's some kind of fucking paid agent who's been sent here to fucking cause all kind of problems. But almost every time I see Timmy join a panel, he derails everything. And I'm just assuming that's what's going on here. It certainly seems like it's going to happen.
Income tax and capital gains tax in the corporate US.
Well, and this is what I've talked about recently, is I'm not defined in relation to a corporation. So Timmy seems to be putting forth this idea of, you know, you guys are just talking about gossip, you know, and things that don't matter. But where do y'all stand in relate? And by the way, Timmy apparently can't even come back to America because of where he's gotten, you know, with his paperwork. But that's none of my business. But that's what I have come to understand from listening to him talk. But, you know, I had an epiphany the other day, which is I'm a living being. I don't exist in relation to when they talk about a corporation, meaning a corpse, meaning a dead thing. I don't exist in relation to that. That thing exists in relation to me, right? Again, we have things backwards. So ultimately, Timmy, it doesn't fucking matter if I'm paying income tax, meaning that I'm going to a job, I'm working for a corporation called, you know, Big Trucking Company or whatever, and then another corporation called United States, in all caps apparently, is taking, you know, one corporation is taking money from another corporation. Ultimately, all I'm looking at is how much is hitting my account every week, and that's typically around $1,200. And I get to live in the truck, so I don't have living expenses. So yeah, whatever these corporate entities, these dead entities, do with their paperwork and moving the fiat around, what's that got to do with me, Timmy? See, nothing. I would argue it has absolutely nothing to do with me. But what I see Timmy doing is he seems to be extrapolating and trying to say, well, there's genocide and the United States military is out here doing things and y'all are paying for that. I'm like, well, wait a minute. No, we're really not. Because if you look at the way the budget works for the United States, the government here, they just create like 1.5 trillion. So actually, whatever they take in tax receipts is usually doubled. So I actually looked at the numbers, and it seems like they take in somewhere around like 2 trillion, and then they add another 2 trillion to it in just new money, right? So all of this stuff about I'm paying for the genocide and I'm paying for the military to murder people, that's not really true, because in order for that to be true, the government would have to lack the ability to outspend what it brings in. See, these notions are all based on the idea of a balanced budget. Well, that hasn't happened since Clinton was in office, and I think he only did it once. And I'm talking about that 1 year's fiscal budget, right? The deficit. When they say deficit spending, that's what that means. Deficit spending is all spending beyond the tax receipts, the total tax receipts, right? And other money, because they get other money from other sources also, right? until people investigate this for themselves, of course they're just going to listen to some bozo like Timmy, and then say, well, you guys are over here doing nothing, but at the same, you guys are involved in these activities that don't mean anything. Meanwhile, at the same time, y'all are paying for this unless you follow the dogma and ideology espoused by Paul Unslaved and others. And I'm here to tell you that doesn't mean anything. And Paul can say till he's blue in the face that I'm going to have to answer spiritually for whatever I agreed to with at the level of paperwork. That's fine. I'm willing to face that judgment. I'm voting with my feet, no problem. And if I get to that stage and I have to be punished, then I'll be punished. But I'm here to tell you, it don't make a damn bit of sense to me that I somehow exist in relation to these dead entities called corporations, and I'm a living being. No, it don't work that way. It does not work that way. I was birthed into a fucking slave system, and this is the way the slave system is operated. So if I choose to go trade my labor for fiat currency, right, that's my right. My labor is my property. I will do with it as I see fit. Now, another man or woman can have an opinion about the paperwork. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. What now, Timmy? What now? I'm going to back him up a little bit because I think sometimes these key points get just lost in the conversation.
How many of you guys are not paying income tax and capital gains taxes?
How many of you guys are not paying income tax? Well, I'm not currently, and I don't pay capital gains tax because I don't own property and I don't buy and sell property. That's what capital gains typically is, right? But see, I'm not going to let other people impose on me a moral standard based on my fucking activities. Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'd be really interested about that.
You're not really interested about that, Timmy. You're putting forth a narrative as if I'm somehow responsible for what the United States government is doing, particularly the military, at the basis of me potentially paying into the system. Guess what, Timmy? Everybody pays. Nobody comes here and doesn't pay. Literally everybody pays into this, whether they recognize it or not, sir. Now, he might have left the United States and he's living outside of that financial system temporarily. What do you think they're going to do to him, by the way, if he comes back to the U.S. and tries to start engaging in business again? What do you think they're going to do to him?
Because I just see the genocide going on, and then
I'm not involved in genocide. I'm not perpetuating genocide, Timmy. Hate to break it to you, sir. I'm not involved in the genocide. Nobody came to me and asked me, hey, man, would you sign off on this genocide, please? Now, I understand that the financial system operates in such a way that it can be construed that I, in the past, when I did wage slave or I did piecework, because technically truck driving is by the mile, you can try to argue that I paid for some of the genocide. And I can tell you, well, look at the budget and prove to me that I paid for some of this genocide. Show me on paper where I paid for genocide. You can't do it because a big portion of the money that goes to pay for the genocide is just created out of nothing. Now, here's where the money they take out of my check, they give that to bankers to pay for the interest on the national debt, which is what? The money that continues to accrue from the deficit spending. So in a way, I guess I am indirectly paying for the genocide. Indirectly, in a way, it could be argued, right? But until each and every American just quits paying into this thing and then the whole financial system collapses, the genocide will continue regardless of what I do individually. I'm not responsible for the genocide, Timmy. I'm just not. The genocide was here. I came here. The genocide has happened my entire life. Then I'm going to leave this place and it's going to continue. So how can you convince me that I did this? No, it was happening when I got here, sir. And it's happened the whole time I've been here. And then, by the way, trouble in the Middle East, that's been in the news my entire life. My 48 years in the realm, trouble in the Middle East has been on the TV and in the newspaper the whole fucking time. Why are we pretending like this is a new thing when it's not? This is not a new thing, sir. It wasn't peace and now it's war. That's bullshit. So how am I responsible for the thing that is happening, that has happened, that's going to continue to happen, whether I'm here or not? Fuck you. I didn't do it. Fuck you.
I want to press you guys.
He's sitting in Thailand
how
right
many,
now.
How
What
many
genocide are
guys,
you talking about?
Oh, in Gaza. I'm just wondering. How
Not
many of you are
responsible for
paying income
Gaza.
tax
Never been to Gaza, never
capital
going.
gains tax
In
in the
Gaza.
corporate US that's doing that.
In Gaza.
So
Why
are
would
all of
why
you
would
are
you
all
know
of you
that?
actually need more trigger words for me to respond.
Timmy's a fucking jackass.
More trigger.
You work
Okay,
for the
so are
IRS?
all just paying
He's an agent. Timmy's a fucking agent.
capital gains tax?
Worthless.
I
piece
pay
of
all my
shit,
taxes.
alpha,
And look at this
beta,
Boshane over there in
zeta,
China,
give me
another
more,
fucking
Timmy.
agent.
Give me more. That's just like
Timmy,
I-
we're gonna
boy, I
we're
don't-
gonna sit around
that's
and gossip
the
about
amount
people a
of
lot.
trigger words that you're calling on me.
In
It's just
fact,
like,
I
Well,
know,
by the
but
way, why is Timmy
I'd
there?
like
I'm
to
gonna
bring it back to
dedicate the
something
rest
that
of the
matters.
stream. Timmy, I'm gonna.
But man, my thing is, if I tune into a stream and I'm not trying to hear drama, I just go do something else. Why is he there? Why is he there? What's his purpose? What's your purpose, Timmy?
To talk about people for the rest of the fucking stream.
And
This
you
is part of the
can't
reason
help
there's
it.
no link, Dominic,
However
by the
long
way.
that goes.
What does it do with
I'm-
the paying taxes?
I'm over it.
Paul, what does
I'm
it
fucking
matter
over
to
it.
you if we're paying taxes? Do you work for the IRS?
I think so.
Oh no, but if you
Okay,
do,
so what does it matter?
you're supporting this.
No, I'm
the
not.
How much money
genocide
do
and
you make?
slavery
No, I'm not.
of people all over Earth.
Nope.
You
What does it do
Wrong.
with the bumper stickers?
Timmy, how much
Please,
money did
I
I
do.
make last year? What did I report?
I can only
I
hope
don't
that
care.
the genocide
No, that's all right. I wanted you to get those feelings out, and that's
I
why
might have to call in
Dearborn,
on this.
Michigan, Southfield and Ford Road. I mean, I can't get any more clear, right? Giving you like 5 miles over from that. Is
Oh,
that
they
good
moved
for
on
you?
to something else.
There's
I
a
mean,
Red Robin.
It's really
Right?
not.
Where the
Since
hell
you
is
got
Tarek?
money-
It's
hold on,
daytime.
Since you got money, since you got your own business and you got
I
money,
guess
and you
it's
can
almost
travel,
daylight here.
I will meet you here. We can talk like men, for example, and I'll pay for everything. And I'll even pay for your flight. But you won't do it because you're a bitch.
Wait, you said because I have a business and stuff, I could travel.
Well, I mean,
but
you
you're
know,
gonna
you don't
pay
need
for
that
me.
anyway, but
See,
I-
I
I-
told
Well, I
you
guess
it's
they
like a
told Timmy to
sexual,
shut the
like,
fuck
this
up.
is
Like a man,
yeah,
like a
you're
man.
trying
No,
to
no,
pay
no,
me.
no.
I
You
almost
don't
was
talk,
going to call
you're
in.
not having that.
And I say call
Let me
in
tell you
because
why,
when I was a
Moose.
kid,
You
it was,
talk a lot of shit on the
sports talk
internet,
radio. You
and
called
say
in,
shit to people, but you
called
won't
into
see
the
them
broadcast.
face-to-face
So
because
it's
you
always
know
in my
you won't
mind
say
going to be
that to them
calling in.
face-to-face because you're a bitch.
No,
You
I
and
would.
Tommy
I would, and I
Anthony.
have, and I've proven it because I've done it. I've
Like, okay, I'll
driven
give you an example.
across the
Flow
country
state. I'll
6
give you an
times, and
example
I've
of the
met
difference,
people
right?
plenty of times,
All right.
face to face,
I'll
and
give you
I'm
an
the same
uh,
in person. You would
okay,
just
I'll give
laugh
you an
in person,
example.
and you wouldn't
Why
take
are
it
we
so
Yeah,
personally.
e-thugging?
I know.
All right, I
I'll
am
give
going
you
to call in. I am going to call in. Where's the link? Yeah. Hang on. Why are we e-thugging? All right, here we go. This is going to be fun.
You have the guts and you're ballsy. I
Why
will
are
pay
you
for
so
your shit.
angry
Come
and
and see
upset?
me
It's
here.
7
I'm
o'clock
telling
in the
you right
morning.
now.
You should be like on your way to work, having a good day,
Hey, buddy,
sipping a
you have to work.
latte.
I don't have to work. You have to work. I don't have to work, Moose. I don't have to work
No,
till the day I die.
no, I really don't though.
Till
I'm
the
not.
day
I
I
don't.
die,
I don't have
I
anything
don't
to
have to work
do.
a single day.
No.
Get it in your head. That's
So
the
you're on
difference between you.
welfare?
Don't ever say, I'm the dumb one. I'm sorry. I'm the dumb one. I yield. Thank you, Full State. I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate the respect. And then the Moose, go suck some more dick and leave me the fuck alone.
But I left you alone. You're the one
What's
that
with all these
brought it on
dorks
yourself.
e-thugging lately? Don't y'all understand on the internet that e-thugging, you look like a fucking dork? Like if you went out in public and behaved like a fucking nerd, that people would be like, hey, what's this nerd doing? When you dorks come on the internet and e-thug, it's the exact same thing. You look like fucking bozos. I'm wondering, why did we get to ethug.txt on all these panels? Do y'all not know what ethug.txt is? You might want to Google that shit. There's ethug.txt generators. There's a fucking ethugtxt.com. Tarek, you're an e-thug bozo dork. Don't you understand how the internet works? You look like a fucking moron when you e-thug. Find out the culture, sir. No, you don't understand the culture, sir. The culture of the internet is you're doing e-thugging and you look like a dork when you e-thug. E-thugging people look like fucking dorks. It's called the culture of the internet,
face
sir.
looking straight in the eye.
You've joined the
You said
internet.
your word,
There's
right?
a pre-existing
Those were
culture,
your words.
and
Can
you're
you
not
replay them
reading
for
the
you? You
room
said
and
you will
realizing
come up
that
and
when
see
you
me man to
e-thug, you
man,
look
correct?
like a fucking dork, sir.
I
It's
understand,
called the
Ben. You're hurt
culture
and you're
of the
you're butthurt. I
internet.
understand
It's
that.
like going to a part
I
of the
totally
country
understand your
and
butthurt,
behaving
but
in a
again, you said
specific
it
way
earlier
that
on
makes
your
you look
show that
like
you
a
will come and
dork,
see a man
and then
touch a
you're
man face to face,
confused
looking him
why
straight in the eye.
everybody
You're
looks
more
at
than
you
welcome
like
to
you're
come
a
with me.
fucking
Have
dork,
a
sir.
conversation,
Stop with
bitch.
the
Ben,
ethug.txt.
you're
You
more than
look like
welcome
a
to come with
dork.
Moose and have this.
Well, that was fun. Let's go see what that did.
Charged, then why are you so your blood is kind of
Do you
pumping,
think
your
this is
you can see
emotionally
the
charged,
veins in your
Moose? Oh
forehead
my
are kind of
god.
popping out, your face is a
I know.
little more
Moose, Moose,
flush.
you think this is emotionally charged right now? You think I'm emotionally charged? You're so stupid, man. You guys, I swear to God,
Well,
are
it's not as
pathetic.
dumb as
Sometimes I
somebody who
look
would
at
do
you,
an
I'm like, I
ethug.txt.
swear to God, my daughter will beat your ass
See,
and
he's
beat Ben's
ethugging. He's
ass and
still
everybody's
ethugging.
ass almost on this panel. Not everybody, of course. There's some men here, but mostly everybody. Look in the mirror and look at yourself. Ben, again,
So
you said
when I
earlier on your
clip
show,
this,
hold on.
are you? Do
Because
you know
Ben
how
says
you're
his
gonna
shit,
look?
you laugh like a bitch. Ben, you said earlier
What?
on your show yourself.
What?
Ben said something on your
I
show
can't let you know.
earlier.
I can't let you do that. I have to talk over you now because you had to be
Go
disrespectful to the Benton.
talk more, talk.
Sorry, the lady looked like she had something to say. So please.
No,
be
I was
quiet.
trying to fix the camera. Go ahead. You're fine. You're fine.
No, he didn't have anything important to say, anyways. He's just,
No, I actually do.
being
So you
emotional
want
and
to talk,
getting
No,
so
it's
I'm
angry.
ethug.
I yield.
It's
Go
not
ahead.
important to the audience. The audience doesn't care that you're breaking down.
You
Hey,
look like a
if
dork.
anybody in the panel has not voted in the poll but
E-thug.
would like to before I close it, now's your time.
Moose, I'm not
People
trying
need to be
important to the
helped.
panel idiot.
These people
See,
need
this
to
is the
be
difference between me and
helped.
you.
Paul
I'm not
does it
important
too.
to the panel. I don't want to be
Fucking
important to the panel. All
ethug.
I'm saying to you and to this bitch Ben, he said earlier on his
Ethug.txt.
broadcast that
Yeah,
he
I
will come and
understand.
look at me straight
Your
in the
eyes are
face. Shut the
twitching.
fuck
They're
up.
twitching like
He
somebody
said
who's
you'll
done
come
drugs.
straight in the
And so I'm
face
gonna
and
have
look
to
at
ask
him
you to
man
refrain
to
from what
man
you're
and
about to
talk to me
say.
man
You
to
might
man. So
This
if
incriminate
you
is
want
the
to
yourself.
do that,
internet.
come
Might
There's
on
hurt
no
with it.
someone's
man to
feelings.
man.
Might hurt
I'm just
yourself.
saying, you and him can come together, fuck each other on the plane, do whatever you want to do. It's no big deal. But come on with it, both of you, to where I'm at. Southfield and Fort Worth, Dearborn Heights. I mean, I can't give you any more
So you've had
fucking
fantasies
hints.
of
I mean,
two
this is like
dudes
if I went
making
around in
love on the
public and,
plane
and
before.
challenged people to
sadly,
online
you and
inter.
I
Tommy
mean,
This
you're
is
the
like
one
going
making
around in
the step
public
up, brother.
and
So like
challenging people to
obviously it's going
online
to
So
gaming.
hey, why you
I
keep
think
talking
this is
about
a
me?
subtle
Do I
hint
talk
that
about
you
me?
might want to Brokeback Mountain me.
Yeah,
I mean, you were
all right.
already
Go ahead,
offering to
Mason.
pay
Let
for
you
my
talk.
plane
Go ahead.
ticket, my hotel, my
Fuck with
board.
these people.
You were trying to
Come
take
on
me
now,
out to
man.
dinner.
You're
Are these
broke. I have
people
to feel
listening
sorry
to
for you and
too much
Ben. You're
Paul and
broke.
Benjamin or too much Paul Unslaved? What's
So
the
would you
case?
guys like to hear the results of the poll?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Is Timmy a cunt? Number 1 is yes at 52%. Number 2 is he's such a bitch it's unbelievable at 21%.
Good to see you, Yurt, by the way.
Oh, hold on.
15%
I
of
gotta
people
switch my
said
vote.
no. 15% of people said no. Timmy's not a cunt. And 10%
Yeah, we are the
said
saviors.
he
That's
doesn't
right.
mean to be. He's just dumb.
Oh.
Yeah, we are the
Yeah,
saviors.
can we get back to what Timmy was concerned with? And that's
Hey,
guilt.
We are the
John,
saviors
I'm glad
everyone
you
has been
brought
praying
this up.
for. We are the saviors everyone has been praying for. We are the saviors everyone has been praying for. What I'm explaining is the truth.
Brother Timmy,
I allow
your
the truth
concern
to
that,
flow. I
paying
think God is
taxes
using me
guilty,
as a
you're
wake-up
gonna be
call.
guilty through association?
Yeah. Brother Yurt, we need you, brother, man. Come up here and save the broadcast.
Timmy's worried about
He's
Gaza.
talking about taxes.
He's worried about
What's up?
Gaza.
What's up, Escobar? Good to see you.
Timmy's being
Then
cussy
go
for all the right
with it.
reasons.
And go over there and fight the war. They're deploying motherfuckers right now. Go over there.
Yeah,
If you want to do
you're
something
about
about
the
it,
right
go.
age.
You're
They
having
probably
the
get
opposite of what I'm saying.
And if
Go
you
ahead,
don't want to contribute, just don't. That's the only way that's the only thing I can say is just don't. But other people are either going to follow in line or they're not. That's just the way it is. There's nothing that you're going to say about taxes that's going to convince people to not pay their fucking taxes. They don't want to go to jail.
That's just the way it is. Oh,
Well, the point
things
isn't
will
to
never
actually
be the
do anything. The point is
same.
the soapbox, right? And grandstand, and it's backfiring, I think.
I just bring up a point and I'm fired up about it because it matters to me.
You're
and
fired up
like, I'm
about it
not
because
trying
you
to
woke
be
up in a bad
Moose,
mood.
shut the fuck up. Shut up.
And Moose, you're
Timmy is the
stop sucking
worst.
dick.
Just if I come in a
I'm
little
gonna
hot,
have to.
yeah, I'm
If
fired
you
up.
keep making these
it
claims,
matters
you're
to
gonna
me.
have to prove it.
Moose, shut the fuck up, Moose. You little fucking
He's a
bitch. Shut
he
up.
likes
Timmy,
dick.
I want to
He
hear.
likes dick.
Timmy, I want to hear your excuse, dude. I want to hear your excuse.
Excuse about what?
All right.
I'm all
Go
ears
ahead,
for
Timmy.
Think about it,
all
somebody
your
reported
excuses, dude. Give me your excuse. I want to hear why.
My bad. My internet cut for 5 seconds. Say it again.
Think about if nobody reported that.
This is hilarious.
If none of us knew that was going on right now, and it was going on, but none of
Yurt,
us
come
knew
save
that
the
it was going
broadcast.
on.
I'm gonna just start emailing Yurt the
Can you
link
ask
until
again? Boy, I
until he
didn't hear
comes up. So it's just his
What
inbox.
if we didn't know it was
One email a
happening?
day with
What
a
if
with a
they
link
had
in it
never reported it
from Benton here.
and you didn't know it was
Reported
happening?
what?
And people, what's going on over there? What if they had never
Oh.
told us? What if it was going on, but we didn't know? Over here on this
That's
side.
nonsense because like
No,
anybody.
it's not.
Timmy
What
can't
if they
play this
did
game.
report
He's
it?
not
Can I
intelligent
answer the
enough.
Can I answer the question? May I answer the question? Miss, may I answer the question?
What about Gaza? What about
Moose,
Gaza?
Oh my
shut
God!
up.
Let him answer the question,
Moose,
right?
stop jumping in.
All
Like,
right,
So it's
sorry.
not nonsense.
it's a bit
That's
of
not
a
an answer.
it's a bit of a ridiculous question because anybody with an internet connection can look up what the corporation that y'all are paying taxes to. Again, you want to say that, oh, I'm not directly paying them, I'm paying the IRS, and the IRS isn't, lending money to, the US and NATO and the UN. Like, come on, give me a break. You guys can all see, everybody knows what these organizations have been doing for hundreds of years. So it's like, it's ridiculous to say that, oh, it's only because they report or didn't report it. You know on record what they've been
Your
doing for hundreds
emotional
of
attachment to this is ridiculous.
my emotional attachment to supporting financially what seems to be terrorism and genocide and slavery instead of actually keeping your property and reinvesting it into your own community with better.
But you
equity.
haven't lost anything, and nobody you know has died yet. So stop it.
Help us with our country. Make that math make sense, bro.
Everybody's
Then
talking the
this is
same
exactly
stuff.
what I tried to explain to him a bit ago, but he insists that he insists on grandstanding on stupidity. Continue on, Timmy.
How am I? See, I think that you have this defeatist mindset,
And he's always going to try to say he'll just try to pretend not to understand.
Questions,
He's just going to act like he doesn't
I just
understand
did.
what's
Did I
being
not?
asserted,
I'm trying to give you
and then
a
he's going to ask for
plausible
further
solution to that
explanation.
problem.
You are not
No,
coming
he's
here with a
right.
plausible solution.
No, he's
All
bad
you're
faith.
doing is coming here
Yes,
with
I
a
am.
criticism to soapbox on because you think falsely that by passing through the taxes on whatever you consume to other people that you're not contributing. But if you're consuming shit from the regular economy, guess what, buddy? You contribute.
But Flo, a lot of people pay 20 to 30% of their property out to this organization, and I'm saying is, wouldn't it be better if they didn't
Good point,
do
Ice
that
Grills.
and then
But that's the
use
thing
that
is, if he's
property
still,
to reinvest into something
depending on his
beneficial for
legal
themselves, their
status,
family, and their communities.
because
Why
what
is that
Timmy
so
has basically said is that he
complicated, though? I
doesn't
don't get
think
why
it
that's
even
so crazy,
matters,
and I'm grandstanding.
what the
Not
paperwork is.
complicated. You're just ineffective.
So the fact is,
Benton
if he
says
comes
well
back
here.
to the
He is
U.S.,
prescribing
they are going
specific
to.
behaviors to us that if we don't act upon, we're immoral. So
I didn't say immoral. I would say that it's
yes,
unethical.
you did.
It's
Yes,
extremely
you fucking did.
I did.
That's the same thing. Don't play
I
dumb.
didn't say the word immoral.
How
It
is
doesn't
it?
matter. You don't have to. You know what he meant, and he's right.
Timmy, but I have to agree with the lady on one thing though. If she doesn't know, like she has, you keep saying like internet and everybody knows.
Again,
if she doesn't
Timmy is
know,
bad faith.
if she
Yeah,
doesn't
he
know
mentioned
at
genocide.
all,
That's
she has
clearly
no
immoral.
concept that money is going
doesn't
to
have to
war, she's
say
not gonna
immoral.
be held liable. That's a fact. In any religion,
Timmy,
any
even
scripture.
Shrek understands this, bro.
No, I'm just saying my opinion again. I know for a fact you're not liable if you don't know.
Dude,
What I
don't
was
pay
getting at is
Go ahead.
they put that agenda for a reason. They put that stuff on the news for a reason. And then the
Very
more we
true.
feed into it, the more their agenda gets pushed, the further on it goes. So the more you bring it to the table and talk about it and then continue to
Yeah,
not
30
do
broadcasts
anything about
dedicated
it,
to exposing
other
these
than just bring
bozos
it
and their
up
failed
for
logic. I can't
simply, I
fucking
guess,
wait.
fear mongering
That's
or
what I
what
typed.
the fuck, I don't know. But
I'm so sick of this,
you
man.
imply that I'm
So sick of
doing
this
nothing
bullshit.
about what I just said.
what are you doing?
How can you make that
What
determination?
are you specifically doing
You're just
to
wrong,
stop
Timmy.
that?
You're just wrong.
Are you not? You're just not paying tax?
Not funding that and funding the operations in my community, my business, my family.
Yeah,
to
in
grow
another
it.
country.
Yeah, like a what?
That's
A
the
charter
answer.
school?
Man, the other
To
time,
me, that's
Timmy
the
said,
answer.
Yeah, in
Timmy,
another country.
You're right on a lot of things, but here, let me clear
How
a little
come
bit
most
for her.
of these people
You're
like
right. For me, at least
Boshane
my opinion is,
and Timmy
if you don't know, you're not held
are
liable.
in
But
other
here's
countries
another thing that
now?
you don't know sometimes, because the other day Timmy brought it up. He asked Mitchell that he can't send anything; it has to be sent through UPS or something has to be taxed. That's not true. I have people that I know, secret people that can send anything from here to anywhere in the nation, anywhere back home, and I don't have to exchange a single fucking dollar. $0.
We're not plugged into Al Qaeda.
No, see, again, you're presuming shit. It has nothing to do with it. It has something to do with families.
Doesn't matter what
that
you get
are
away with
everywhere
now.
That connect with different things. They don't have to get taxed. If I give you a property back home, for example, you give me something here, there's no tax been done. That's the fact.
Okay.
Now, you guys don't have these resources. I understand and I respect
family
that. I'm not putting
network.
it down.
A family network is not a viable replacement for the post office.
I'm not saying it is.
No,
I'm
but
saying
Timmy is
stop.
suggesting that something like that is.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it is. I'm
Timmy's a
just
fucking
saying
agent. Let's
at
just call
times
it what
you
it
may have to
is.
use
Whether
that
he knows
service
it or
if
not,
you
he's a
have to,
fucking
but
agent.
really, people that work in a certain community don't go way
Thank
out
you,
of their
what's
way
up?
to be involved with
Not
other
one damn
countries
thing
if they're
Timmy
not,
is waffling on about
give them
will ever
any
amount to a
benefits
hill of
over there
beans.
for
That's
a
right.
reason.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Praise God.
Infamous, way too old for this mindset. Go ahead, Timmy.
Yeah, super secret peoples. That's right.
33.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
yeah, Tarek
See what
is
I mean?
blessed into
I've
some fucking
already asked
secret
this
society.
before. Last time, not the last time, but
Now maybe he is.
previously when he was saying.
But you know what I don't
stupid shit.
believe? You know what I don't believe, Austin?
Are
Is
you
that he's
Mormon?
blessed
So
into something
now
super
you're saying
secret,
I'm lying about my
and
age?
he's on the internet
No,
talking
he's
He's
about
not
it.
Mormon. He's just a retard.
And
all
he's
right?
on the
Everybody-
internet
dumb,
talking
not that
about
you're
it.
lying.
See, one of those, I'm willing to accept that one of those
Right.
two things might be true.
I don't think,
I'm
I
not
don't
willing
think
to
he's dumb
accept
at
that
all,
he's
but
blessed into some
everybody has their
secret
opinion, I guess.
fucking arrangement,
He's
and
either
he's
dumb
on the
or
internet
he's
talking about it.
immature
I just don't
and
understand
naive.
how
The
you're
people who would
that
bless
age.
him into a secret arrangement
agree
would
with that.
never
Naive.
allow him to go onto a fucking panel
Again,
and
you
just
guys-
talk about
this
it.
is my point.
These
This
two
is
things
like
cannot
what my
happen,
Timmy, you're
folks.
trying to
is-
jack
is-
Talcott.
Cannot
It's
happen.
not going to
Moose,
work, brother.
Shut up.
That
My
too,
point,
that right
Flo,
there.
Could be
It's
both.
just not going to work. You're not bringing that
Well, and more and
Talcott back
more,
here.
Brother Austin, it's people
Look,
who
man,
act
Flo,
as
my
agents,
point is,
whether they
I
know
do
they're
mean good
agents or
faith.
not.
Like, I'm gonna even put the camera. I do really do. I come in good faith.
No,
I
you don't,
want
Timmy.
to see people to invest their life and their force, their
He
life
looks
force,
like
and
one
their
of
good
them
faith.
trolls
back-
with the
back
gem in their
in.
belly.
Moose, shut the fuck up, Moose. Don't interrupt me, you piece of garbage. Can't
Yeah, you
stand
can't
that
do
kind of thing.
anything about it,
I
Timmy.
do come in good faith.
Nothing.
I'm not trying to grandstand for me. I don't have a
You
channel.
are.
I have nothing to gain from talking
Bullshit.
like this.
The fact
And
that you're here talking about it
to me,
proves that there's something
if
in
we
it for
put
you, Timmy.
Our energy, life
You can't
force,
you can't
attention
say
back into what we're doing,
that
if
there's
we
nothing
think
in
it's
it for
good
me.
ethics and morals,
Then
I
please
think this is
explain
the
to me
only
why
and the
you're
best
doing it,
way
because I
to
will
move
never
forward.
believe that
Find
he's
your
doing it
sanity,
because he
people
feels a need to help people.
Hold on, and voice, shut up.
Bullshit.
So this is
Bullshit.
honestly how you think your time and energy is best spent to those ends.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, no, I work 10 hours a day. I have my own.
That's not an
stuff.
answer, Timmy.
Right now,
That's
right
not an
now,
answer to
before
what
you
he's
came in,
asking.
You looked at this scenario and
It's
you
not
go,
an
you know
answer.
What? You know what will help me reach this goal is to go in here and piss off a bunch of people who don't already like me.
Well, I bring up FEMA camps at
I don't
times,
know that
but,
everybody
under
does
very
it.
specific
That doesn't-
scenarios having to do with medical tyranny. But yeah, I hear you.
It's totally empty goals that everybody would agree with. That
I
even
don't talk
could be
about them on
stated
here
by the-
much.
by the
Mostly talked
UN.
about them on my
I mean, you're
podcast.
actually quoting the fucking UN, dude. Yeah.
Right.
you
Okay.
are.
So.
When if y'all listen to
and-
Timmy, he never
and one of the
he
things I
never
brought up
acknowledges
was, why
when
do
the
you
other
guys pay
person makes a
30%
point.
of your property that you earn
And
every
see, that's
year
a bad sign
the
to
thing.
me.
And that's one thing. That's
When
one
I
out of
observe
all
somebody
the
like
things.
Timmy, he never acknowledges a
I don't know
point
why you
made by the
assume
other
that.
side. So
Yeah.
You know, how
I'm
can
not
I
gonna
have?
be a
That's why I
fucking
came in and
idiot.
You know,
I
how can I
asked.
tune
Right
into
away,
London Man and
man.
I've got
Your
intelligent people
optics,
complimenting
your
my
optics.
ability to give a
I don't
I don't
discourse
give
and
a
make
fuck about
points,
what my
novel
optics
points.
say,
Well,
boy.
Look, and I
I
want
Then
to
don't
make
certain
sure
care.
that
folks like Timmy,
OnlyFans is
You have
not
the
a
same
job.
message.
in his mind,
The
I can just
optics-
never
the
make a
same
point.
message
This
as
is
The
not possible,
optics
man. It's
directly
not
impact your
possible.
effectiveness.
Now, what is
If
possible
you
is
don't
that
care about
Timmy
the optics,
is
you don't care about your
incapable of
effectiveness, you don't
admitting
care
when
about the
somebody
end goal.
else has made a point.
That's not it, man.
He cares
I
about
have
See,
the
it's
energy
just
and
it's
I'm bringing the
nothing but
conversation,
deny,
and you
deny,
guys
deny.
won't, like, you guys can't get past me being seemingly an asshole and a cunt. That was the poll was, am I a cunt? It wasn't,
But you
am
are,
I
Timmy.
wrong and a piece of garbage?
No, you're
and have
wrong and you're a
malintent?
cunt.
That wasn't what the poll
That's
said.
two different things.
So
You're
again,
wrong
if you
and
want
you're a
to talk to me,
cunt,
you just
Timmy.
kick me out.
He is
Nobody
right about
cares
that.
if you're right, if you're a cunt about it.
That's Talcott
I'm not
101,
saying I'm not
dude.
saying that's correct. I'm saying that's what is. That's how people are. If you come with cunt energy, which you're swimming in,
Yep.
nobody gives a fuck about what you're saying after that.
Yeah, he could be right and be a cunt.
That's Talcott 101, dude.
Amen.
You really believe that? You want to espouse
I
that?
know that. That's how the world works.
Timmy's just horrible, dude.
That's how it is.
Okay,
Look
then
around you.
I'm
Try
calling
it
out. I'm calling out to the
You know, even the guy in South Korea, Timmy, was in a wheelchair.
I'm calling out to the
Nobody
people
here that
that
thinks that way.
Well, yeah, both can
You're a
definitely
dumb
be
piece
true.
of shit.
Yeah, both can definitely be true.
I'm a dumb piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
that's a
because I
fact,
come in
not
like this,
opinion.
why can't you
That's
meet
a
me
fact.
like and
Yeah,
talk
Timmy's
about
terrible.
the thing I'm discussing
So
instead
this
of
is
like
exactly-
attacking me?
Perfect
This is
example.
logical
You want me to
fallacy,
meet
like
you somewhere.
one.
When you want to achieve something with somebody else, right? You're trying to influence other people's behavior, and you want them to meet you somewhere and change their behavior voluntarily. It's not a good sales tactic to get them to meet you there by pissing them off immediately, especially when you're already facing an uphill
Well,
battle.
but see, you're
let
coming
you
from a
in,
false premise here,
knowing that
which
we've
is that
never
he
had a good
actually
interaction,
wants to help people.
and you pretend like you're coming here with a fucking real claim. You're full of shit.
Bro,
You're not trying to be effective.
I'm another.
I don't believe that at all. I don't believe it at all.
I'm
It's not
another
believable.
dude like any of the other people in the square, and I came up and I thought the conversation was about nonsense, the same shit that people have been talking about these fucking panels forever. And
Definitely
I just
definitely
threw my hat
doesn't
in the
matter.
ring.
It doesn't matter to you if it was. You have no impact or no say in what we talk about. I promise you that the minute
That's
that we're done, I'm gonna spend every last minute on this stream talking bullshit about other panels because of you.
Nice.
In
Nice.
action,
Nice.
I'm proving my point about what happens when you swim in cunt energy.
And then I'm going to make
What,
a
my
bunch
typing?
of shorts about
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I type
And
fast.
so see how far
great.
this is just
Totally
spreading the
being a
bullshit?
dick.
Absolutely being
I-
cunt
I-
backfires on what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I'm not responsible for genocide.
don't care what your
Again,
opinion is, man.
Why can't you
If
just
you're-
meet me
if
there?
you're-
I've
Why
done
the
no
fuck would
genocide.
anybody meet you where you
In
wanna
fact,
meet,
I've
bro?
harmed basically nobody ever.
Because if I'm saying
In my
something
entire
that's
life.
true, you shouldn't care about how the message
Hey,
is
Shrek,
delivered.
how do you feel about this?
I'm
While the
telling you
people who
something that's true
actually
about cunt
perpetuate
energy, and
genocide,
you're
nobody
rejecting
blames
it
them.
'cause you're
Nobody
a
goes
cunt.
and finds the
Bye.
people who've done the genocide
Bye-bye.
and holds them to account for it.
Good talk.
It's people like me who have had absolutely nothing to do with genocide.
Who should we talk about now?
that
Since
gets blamed.
Obviously, we have to talk about somebody. We were on OTW. We could talk about Paul.
Who is fucking
Well, I mean,
Paul?
we should circle
Like,
back to OTW's failure.
She goes, "Who's
I mean,
fucking
Circle back to
Paul?"
OTW. Then I'll play.
Yeah, that's
All
right.
let's-
85
you
words
do
a minute.
OTW. Since not everybody knows who Paul is, I'll pull up a little clip so that people can meet Paul.
Is there 52 people here? Wow! Shout out to 52 here. I think I'm in. I think my mic
Tim?
is going
I
to
think
bite
that
the
we
dust
talked
though.
about Tim. Oh, you want to talk about M or
I want to talk
Tim?
about Ember.
Mm.
why do we want to
boy,
talk about
don't be
these-
simping out on Flo's panel, bro.
You know, I'm trying to simp here. Come on, dude. It was the first time, and you're already. So I'm not so good at.
Haven't you had like enough meltdowns in front of y'all where y'all are just like,
Look, you got to maintain frame, boy. I'm trying to help a brother out.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
there's not enough like disclaimers and like signs in the world to just, there's not.
For what?
I'm a dumpster fire. Like, are you kidding?
That's right. No, I planned on
Currently
taking the
have
day off.
actual court stuff.
I
pending,
scheduled
all
this
kinds of
yesterday.
ridiculous. And I'm a
But, yeah.
grandma. Like, this is not a good look for me.
Yeah, John Thomas is a grandma too.
Big Cow needs you.
He's definitely got some issues, some trauma that he's recovering from. Clearly. That's why he feels the way he feels. It's like really obvious. It's sad.
I said, Timmy
Like,
said,
you
"Why are you
can't
talking to
just
me? You won't
cram that
talk to
down
me on your
everybody's
panel." I
throat,
said,
but-
"Because I'm free to do as I wish in this life, regardless of what you think or feel about it, you bad faith bozo."
If he gave enough of a fucks about what he says he gives,
I don't know.
fuck
Everybody
about,
just assumes
he
he's
would
in
have
jail,
figured out by
Mr.
now
Me.
how to not be.
Although
a cunt.
you have
He
to think
doesn't
if he
care.
was in jail, he
Everything
probably
Timmy
would be
was
able to
saying, I've
at least
grappled with
email
for over a
somebody. So I
decade
don't know.
now. All that stuff.
Yeah, sorry about that, Pretty. That's me.
You know, use the legal secrets.
I probably should.
I mean,
I probably should turn
But then
my
it came
mic
back
off.
to the laws of Moses, right?
No,
That's just my keyboard. Is it's kind of a cheap keyboard that's loud.
That was 2010 for me. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
Yeah, Ferris Benton's
or
Day
none of
Off.
that stuff.
I like that.
The people in the circles I was running with, that's old news. And I was the same way. I said, I don't want my money going to their shit. You know what I mean? I didn't. But then something else hit me. And I
Okay,
wanted
John,
to-
that's great. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna introduce him and whoever else doesn't know Paul to Paul.
So I don't fuck with none of you inauthentic corporate males.
Where was this?
I'd rather fuck with a bunch of black folks on the street.
Come again.
I'd rather fuck with a bunch of black folks on the street.
My hometown, by the way, 75% black.
That's my boy Jay. There's two niggas in the
All right. Well, watch your wallets. Watch your wallets. Oh man, that's an official. That's an authentic African American. He's got the spirit and the soul too. He's got that flavor. We don't get that much here, so I'm excited now.
Okay.
You got like a couple minutes. You want to break out for the people, or you're not really in the mood? I don't want to do the whole dance in my.
Yeah, people do collect typewriters. You're right.
He's got black in him.
Hey, what about
Yeah, I
Sean?
think
What
my
about
microphone's
WhatsApp
gonna
Cynthia,
die. The one thing
clips
about
that
these
she
dynamic microphones, I don't know if it's my strong voice or if I just
dude, he
use
just
too much
disappeared.
gain, but they
Got him
end
all
up
media,
dying.
Took him off his own show.
I think this one's on its last legs. Once they get real crispy like that, I kind of like the way it sounds though. That crispy,
I hit the wrong button.
crispy sound.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, Tarek. But
You're-
the man
you
flow
never-
states
You
back.
can never hurt my feeling, most never. It'll never
Yeah,
happen.
drama steers. Drama.
You belong with the
Drama's the
dwellers of
fuel.
shaitan, not with me. Give that with you. I'm sure you know what that means. You have a
You need
master.
to
I don't
grow
have a
your
master.
beard out a little bit because I can still see the
Well,
ravine.
not for you. It'll be for a woman, not for you.
Yeah, the
Remember
butt
that.
chin.
Now you go do what the
Hey, there's a crack
No.
so deep in his chin that I'm almost expecting a clit.
I know, like only a guy would look at it that long. He has to be a little bit of a homosexual, won't you think?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up in about an hour, maybe a little less.
I'm assuming from perspective, like common sense. Like if I look at a lady,
All right,
and keep
hold on,
looking
hold
at
on,
her-
An hour or less.
We're all out of
I'm gonna
time.
go to
We
the
got a
store, I
video here.
guess.
Yeah, of course. We don't want to fuck your shit up.
Eric,
Try to snag some watermelons, maybe.
Had the balls to do a broadcast with people called Talking with Famous People. He was the famous person. Okay? If you go into these people fucking background, Jack Talcott, and you look at who they've been for the last 5 and 6 years, it's narcissist central. I'm the potentially famous person who showed up on broadcasts with nobody watching before I went to places with 500s of thousands of subscribers. And I didn't fucking view myself as a famous person. They kept doing it, telling me I'm a legend. and a
Man, I'm
hero
looking
and
forward to
and
this
that.
weekend off because I'm
You
gonna
people are nobody.
I'm gonna go back and find
anywhere,
some
never done nothing.
because
got a
Paul's already
goofy
tightened
bitch
up his
next to you, and
discourse. I
you're
don't
gonna
know if
go
y'all
on a
noticed
Talking
that.
with
He's already
Famous
tightened
People
up, which is
broadcast
good.
and tell us how to get
He's
women.
tightened up some of the bullshit he espouses. And I'm not, like I say, I'm not interested in attacking him
You gotta admit,
as a person.
The flamingo.
It's these ideas, like Timmy wanting to come in talking about genocide.
Wow.
Like now, if I can't be morally upstanding unless I,
Just like pre-warn
you know,
me if I'm ever about to jump in
unless I
and
get
he's
my
already
paperwork in
on.
order.
Like, let me know so I can
fuck
just
you,
not
man.
come
The,
on.
the genocide has nothing to do with my
doesn't come over
paperwork.
here a lot.
Idiots.
Like, no. No.
I mean, you don't have to be told. When he's on the show, everybody knows it because he doesn't shut up.
Actually, the last time he came on, he didn't even get a word in, and he rage quit like before he even started talking.
Uh-oh. No,
Really?
everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
But I gotta
Everybody
hear
got
about this.
demoted.
I must have been sleeping.
It was during my last live stream. Hold on, I'll just find it for you. It's because I think it was Notch and Lindsay were talking, and when he joined, and I stopped.
I'm getting emails
everybody started
about
talking
wrenches.
at once, and I said, Notch, then so and so, and then Paul. But when it was Paul's
It's like,
turn,
man,
Lindsay
everybody lost their
responded,
wrench.
and so
All at the
he
same
got
time.
skipped in his turn, and he just stopped after that. That's it. He left.
The power.
Timmy's such a bitch. Enjoy your karma,
beautiful
folks.
day.
That's why I said
Damn. And just to show you I'm not bullshit, I'm gonna have to turn this camera on and let you guys see it.
Yeah, because it's really pretty. But it's like
He's
cold
just
as fuck
bad
outside,
faith
I just
across
know
the
it.
board. And he really is.
It says.
Who is this? Oh, Paul did? See, I kind of want to review that now, but I'm going to save all that for starting on Monday, probably. Although probably most likely I'll be live again in the morning. So maybe we'll cover a little bit of
got
that
4
then.
phones.
But
I was trying to be like way cooler than Kevin Gates. Oh, he's got 2.
Oh, snaps. She's rocking that Kevin Gates, huh?
That's
my little
Have
compound.
you ever watched the video on YouTube, the Kevin Gates helpline? That shit's fucking dope. It's hilarious, dude.
51 people.
You know
Wow,
what else
amazing.
is funny? I'm gonna start laughing when people start going around to other channels, bumping for Flow State.
What's funny when Paul was like,
stop talking
when
shit
him
about
and he was
Flow
on
State,"
OTW
getting
and
on
he
the
said,
panel,
we can have
Tarek
more
over
people
here.
just sitting
He's
in
only over
silence.
here 'cause his dad
It's
likes
like, man, I don't know, dude.
On my channel and talking
I've
trash
talked
about
for an
it.
hour on here before and then went and cut up fruit
No, but I'm gonna
for
laugh
like 30 minutes
that's
and
that's
the numbers
really
went
what
up.
I
So
get.
it's like, it's not always because I'm
He's come over
talking
here
that there's
before,
people here.
and, he actually donated. one
Sometimes they're
time,
just like hanging out in the
I
chat or
was sure
whatever.
that would be the last of it. After he
Alright,
got his
so
ass
he's
creamed,
legit.
but
Yeah,
I think
No,
there's
it's
more
not
legit.
about it. It's not just about legit, Moose. If I have something to say to you, I'll say it. If I don't,
Yeah,
I don't. It's not
I'm
about
like,
Paul.
don't
It's not
you
always
get it?
about anybody else.
That's
But
true,
sometimes
Rebecca
I
Joe.
gotta
Thank
talk
you.
Well, then get
about
out of your feelers. Then we're not gonna start boxing, all right? I'd probably
boxing. I would never
Thanks,
box
Rebecca.
you.
Appreciate
Hold on, Moose. I would never box you. Come on, we're not gonna go there. I was just saying a conversation. But go ahead.
Oh, is Tarek learned
look.
the
He
error
tried to
of his
take me
ways
out to
with the
dinner
E-Thug?
and buy me a plane ticket. Like I've never had any
Nobody's
man
taking
try
you
to
out
do that.
nowhere. I know you can't afford it. That's why.
Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll go on Paul's panel
All
and
right.
I'll just
Anyways, we'll
read
move on from this because
ethug.txts.
if Flo says you're here for good reasons, that's fair. I've seen you go over to Jack Talcott's and act like an asshole, so that's why I treat you like one. But I'll refrain.
Oh, I yield.
Oh, wait a minute.
So, John, I really want to get back to the laws of Moses because I'm trying to walk with Christ here, and I'm just not sure. I've never heard about these laws of Moses. I'm not sure where we're going to get to them, where I'm supposed to study these laws, who follows these laws, all that stuff.
So likewise,
You know what? I was just thinking
on
that
2 times
Sterling
speed.
Ray is, I swear, me and Sterling are on the same wavelength a lot of the time. It's
It's
kind
not
of
that
scary in
eventful.
some ways.
Because you started off talking about pissing my
Yeah,
and you were
he
saying
is.
how we can't be sure of any knowledge
You
in
know,
the game.
and
So
that's
it seemed
not
like
a bad
you
thing,
could turn
right?
that
But
two
yeah,
ways. You could say,
he's
well, that's a problem with knowledge. Because you're talking
The
about how you
machine
can knowledge. Or you can turn it on
lies.
yourself and say, well, that's not a problem with knowledge. It's a problem with myself.
yeah,
We
I
got
I don't
agree.
have
what's
any
up,
ignorance
Cynthia?
of knowledge.
I'm having
Out of the
trouble
world. And
explaining
that one,
what
and
I
that's
was
the second one.
thinking, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's,
yeah.
Got
yeah.
Nacho
So the second one
Kita
is
on the
usually more correct.
panel.
Like, it's not a problem with knowledge. It's a
Mr.
problem with
Pie.
your own state of ignorance. Most
and
likely.
you know, by the
Because
way, he's
it's
like
kind of
many of
inconclusive
us in that
information because you don't have
regard.
a sound
Again, I'm
epistemology.
not
So then
wired
it's
for
knowledge.
loneliness.
Because people say, well, knowledge might still be out there. I just don't fucking have
Whatever
it.
I'm afflicted with came with some benefits. I don't experience loneliness, me personally, but even if I don't, we all have to socialize. And, I always bring everything back to social isolation. Probably the same thing for him, especially if he really believes all this stuff around, avoiding the corporations, which I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does believe all that.
You know what I mean?
He's passionate about it.
Certain names. So it frustrates me that
So
I
yeah,
can't
who's he going to talk to in daily life?
I know all the facets of my personality and the good parts and the bad parts and the silly parts, et cetera, et cetera. Well, why can't I prove any of this? And it bugs me.
Yeah, you'll run yourself in circles into like cognitive dissonance at that point. It's like, is any of this real? You'll be like Jack Talcott. Is this real, man?
You can anchor yourself, though, right? You can anchor yourself with your experience. If I experience, it's real, right?
But if you question that, then you can reference off of somebody else. So back to the cup. If we were in the same room and she threw the cup at me, I could say that it's not real, but it's not.
I'm watching a
obviously,
panel.
I'm lying, right?
It's the face.
What?
Is it real because we already know this experience and what should happen?
This is Flow State, Rebecca. He's live, but he's now watching a panel. So I think we're gonna just abort the mission here. I think I'll just finish up solo. And I don't have a whole lot more to say. So let me take a look at the notes. Let's see what we got here. And we will be live again in the morning, most likely, just for the record. But I'm leaving here no later than 9 a.m. my time. So less than an hour, I'm rolling out of here. And I'm probably not going to be back. But you never know. Sometimes I get what we call a wild hair. I don't know why we call it that in my culture. But and you never know when I might just have something to say. But if I do, that would be more of just me putting up the icon and just talking for a period of time. So I've got a lot to do. There's a lot on my plate. I need to organize many things on my computer, soundboard. I need to make new soundboard clips. I need to organize the soundboard. Maybe a lot of things to be done this weekend. A lot of things to be done. But yeah, actually, I covered everything in the notes. So I guess we'll just hang out and get out of here. Yurt says when he slips into E-Thug, you can blame Brother Lynch Hung's album Season of the Sickness, which somehow ended up in his cracker hands in 1995. Praise God, by the way.
Praise God.
Yep. Praise God for that, Yurt. Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I would have stayed longer, but I'm just I don't have a lot to give, especially after 11 hours live on my side. But then, and I know Bex was talking about this. Rebecca 0.0. Apparently, she went to what she called internet rehab, which I guess is her, not streaming and not being on YouTube all day for weeks and months on end. But part of me being able to do this and somewhat maintain my sanity is I pretty much go to sleep at the same very early bedtime no matter what. I think the other day I went to sleep an hour late and I still went to sleep at 6:30 my time. So I'm asleep, and I mean like I'm dead ass asleep by 5:30 local time almost every night. So but then I'm awake by usually about midnight. I slept in till 2. I think it was 2:12 when I woke up. Something like that. Yes. Well, I'm going to be working Tupelo, but thank you. I'm already enjoying it. Certainly. Thank you. Good to see you, by the way. But yeah, I already cleaned the bathroom, which was just disgusting and should have been cleaned up 2 weeks ago. It was horrible. Shameful, actually, the state of the restroom here. But I'm the only one here. That's part of it is, But yeah, I finally got that done. I cleaned the, swept and mopped the floors, which, that's the major thing, right? That makes all the difference. And took out the trash. Maybe I will start the process of organizing. But since I'm going to be here for another month, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Even if I organize everything and put it away, it's just all going to end up back on the bed again. So what's it even matter? But we'll see. We'll see. I'm mostly going to get organized for the broadcast. So starting Monday, the plan is to hit the ground running. But yeah, man, thanks for having me, London. I caught a little bit of what y'all were saying about me. It's funny how I just have this talent to tune in right when people are talking about me. I don't know how that is, but so thank you all for, there were some compliments directed my way, which I certainly appreciate. It helps me, I don't have a lot of doubt about what I'm doing here, but, I can, I have my moments of doubt at times, especially, when the direction of the broadcast changes like it has recently. So some of those compliments help me like, oh, yeah, that's right. Folks I admire and find to be intelligent, also, may find something to admire in my discourse at times. So that's awesome. And I want to say this to Brother Austin while he's here. I want to say this to London Man while he's here. I'm happy to host panels over here, but more and more, I'm mainly going to be directing that towards folks who do live streams. And especially, I noticed there can be it can be helpful, especially, if it's a person who doesn't necessarily go live 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, and I don't even do that. But it's more like on average, probably, I don't know, 8 hours, probably. There's times when somebody like Ian or Z or Yurt, even though he doesn't go live anymore, or London Man, there may be a time when y'all want to express something. So anytime y'all want to, feel free to ask for a link and join the broadcast, and I'm happy to facilitate any of that sort of thing. Tommy's supposed to be live in about 4 hours, I believe, somewhere around then. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Benton bedtime story voice. That's right. Oh man, and yeah, Brother Yurt said amen. Indeed, sir, indeed. I did, and you know what? I almost posted in the chat. Heidi says, Benton, did you see the part where Z asked fuck, marry, kill between him, me, and Z? I'm sorry, London Man, myself, and Z. And I almost typed, Heidi, well, I'm chronically ill, so you always kill me. Right? So if it was a real-world scenario, you always kill Benton because he's chronically ill. So that's how that goes, right? But, I understand it's a hypothetical and it's a fantasy, right? But I don't know. I'd say at London Man's age and dare I say his ethnicity or his race, his creed, you probably got to bang London Man, right? I mean, he is 29, right? Didn't I hear that? Unless you want me to get back onto my breathing exercises, unless we're gonna do like 7 hours of fucking Sting style tantra. I mean, I'm pretty sure you go London Man for the F. So probably marry Z and kill me, I would imagine. That's the way that goes. You can't kill me? Well, that's the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I'm no longer actively dying, but, I've taken decades off of my lifespan. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So we'll see. But who knows? Maybe I'll make a full recovery. Although the ladies may not admit to this, but there is a particular attraction to a man who is, ill or has some sort of, dire possible outcome, right? Like that's also a thing. Yeah, London's laughing. Yeah, well, I can say this, that, if it was between sleeping with the 29-year-old Benton or the 48-year-old Benton, you're going 29-year-old Benton every time. So, I don't want to get too much into London Man's affairs here, but I'm assuming he knows what he's doing by now. I'm just guessing. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where you're going to go. Although you could marry him also, right? You could also marry London Man. I don't know. But, yeah, I think you got to kill Benton. Although, wait a minute. No, you marry Benton and you kill Z. Sorry, Z. But you marry Benton. I don't have any money, though. That's the problem. This is not a very good fuck, marry, kill, by the way. This is not a maybe you F me, you kill Z, and you marry London Man. I don't know. This is a tough one, actually. What does the audience think? This is see. The more I think about it, the more I thought I had the clear answer, but the more I think about this, it's actually a pretty tough choice. Yeah, not die. That's right. Good to see you, Crumley. It's been a minute, by the way. Where you? Not that you owe us an explanation, but good to see you. Yeah, we can. That's right. Yes, because see, I'm not diagnosed, so hypothetically, and I do have a relatively high income when I work. So yeah, we could get me insured, and then you could marry me and take out insurance. That's the move. But all roads lead to Z getting killed, apparently. I don't know. This is not looking good for Z. But, I mean, doesn't it always come down to which of the three you want to kill? I mean, that's what I base the fuck, marry, kill on. It's like, well, okay, that's the thing I start with is which of the three do I want to kill? Or would I be willing to kill? And I'm only going to accept the thing in the spirit in which it's intended, right? I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to take on the premise and then try to change it into something I might prefer to answer. It's like, no, man, you either go with the premise or you don't. So I typically start with, and again, I'm a man. If it's three women, I mean, I can pretty much sleep with any of the three. We sort of have that, unless it's just somebody really fucking gross, so I usually start with which of the three do I want to kill or would I kill? And especially if it's like three famous people, there's usually like one of them immediately. I'm like, okay, that's the one I want to kill. So, just any three random, women celebrities. I bet you out of the three, there's one of them I'll find something killable in. I'm just guessing. Heidi says she'll let me drive. Well, see, that's the problem with Heidi is she's in charge and she's letting me do things. So, we're already in trouble here. At what point am I now I'm just one of the other doofuses following his woman around the grocery store, right? That's the problem with Heidi. I've lost all desire to put a lot of energy into dominating a situation. That's more of a young man's game, as far as I'm concerned. But Heidi's certainly smart enough to know she needs to let me think I'm in charge. That's the key, ladies. If you want to have an actual man, it's just letting him think he's in charge. Because that's what my second wife did. She met me and she liked the cut of my jib, but she was intelligent enough to say, okay, he just needs to feel like he's in charge, right? So here you go, bozo. Here's 10 years of feeling like you're in charge, which is really all I cared about in some way. Well, and we were very compatible in the bedroom. That always helps. That never was a problem, ever. That's the number one thing. I mean, can we just call it what it is, folks? Isn't that the number one thing? The compatibility between the sheets? I mean, I would think so. Right? Seems to me. I'm not the man, though. I am, but yeah. Yeah, see, this is what she's already beaten me here. See, look at this. Look at these dynamics playing out. I see what you're doing, Heidi. This is hilarious. Oh, man. Because y'all may notice I don't flirt with the ladies on the broadcast, but, now I've been sucked into something here. It's fascinating. Yep. Uh-oh, wait a minute. See, now I'm wanting to maybe go hang out with Ice Grills. See, this is my problem here. It's like, wait a minute, wood stove and coffee? Wait a minute, maybe I'm going over to visit Ice Grills here. I shan't stay long. Oh man, there you go. Yeah. Well, in the the LGBT community, they would call that topping from the bottom. It's the seemingly submissive partner is actually running the show in a lot of cases. I've met women before and said things to them like, listen, you can talk to me like this. You just can't talk to me like this when other people are around. It's like, I have to maintain some appearances here. Like, just make sure nobody can hear you and then fucking have at it. But, like, I can't have you talking to me like this in front of other people. Like, what is this? You gotta maintain the illusion that I'm in charge. Can I please have my dignity? Yeah. Oh man. See, this is what I'm scared of. This is the problem, Heidi. Is it? Yes, I'm sure you do. That's the problem. That's the problem. I need a shack in the backyard. I need a little shed in the backyard with my streamer set up and an extension cord and a fucking window unit and a wood stove. I need to be able to get away from you. That's the thing. I love women. I'm happy to potentially cohabitate with a woman, but I got to be able to get away from y'all at a certain point. That's the thing. There always has to be an escape route. Yeah, that's right. I can't, my creative space, my artist studio cannot open. The door to my artist studio cannot open to another person's living space. That's the key I've discovered. That's the key to me being able to create, whatever ridiculous undertaking I'm, considering to be my art at any given time, right? Which right now is live streams. So yeah, wherever I do that can't be integrated into somebody else's living space. Other than that, I can just go sleep in a ditch if I need to. I mean, it's not a problem. I was homeless for 6 years consecutively. Yeah, shack. Yeah, that's right. Shake the shack. I guess I better get back on the Kegels, man. I don't know. I from what I understand, women these days they're used to these like marathon sessions. It's like, well, I don't know. I can I can maintain readiness and lay there on my back and do breathing exercises, I guess, for a few hours if we need. If that's the way we need to go. I don't know. Can we run the live stream? It's like, why is Benton breathing funny? Why? It's just the icon all day, and what's his strange breathing? What is this? It's like, well, I've got to earn my keep somehow, folks. It's either this or truck driving. I'm laying underneath Heidi, fucking breathing for hours on end, just to earn my keep. Fucking. What did they say? There was this one. I refuse to say porn star. I don't think that's a thing. There was a male adult actor, an adult film actor. They said he was a. They said that the way they described him was as a life support system for a penis. It's like, at what point is that what I become, right, Heidi? Isn't that what it ends up being eventually? It's like you can't stand the looks of this you can't stand the sight of this motherfucker, but he's a life support system for a penis. Thank you, Lizzo. Lizzo loves my art. Lizzo's a male, though, right? I mean, not that matters, but I'm just curious. I just assumed Lizzo was a female, but I think Lizzo's a male. Yep, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I can do that with any, and I'm not trying to be rude here, Heidi. I can do that with any number of ladies that are nearer to my zip code, right? That's the problem. But yeah, bonus healing, indeed. Yeah. Yeah, sexual healing. But yeah, anyway. Yeah. Well, it's funny, because the chat is on a delay, especially the StreamYard chat. So it's like I'm seeing the comments that have to be because of things I said like 90 seconds ago, 120 seconds ago. But anyway, I think we're going to get out of here, folks. I don't know if this is quitting on a high note or quitting when I'm ahead, but I can definitely, I know when not to overstay my welcome. Well, that's the key, Heidi. I know when I've overstayed my welcome. That's the key. Thanks for watching.